Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I don't know. The system seemed to have, just gone cold, and we have to all start all over again, load our videos. But since you are here, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and have our discussion and go ahead. Of course, we know what we're already talking about. The problem is that I don't even have. Gosh. Can you all see me? If you all can see me, please. Okay. I'm not able to get the today in a while.
Want to pass a message, we can come. A message, we can come in, we can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care, as long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012. Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has generated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Can't succeed without an inside person. And this attack you saw has insiders collaboration.
Okay, thank you guys so very much for hanging on with me there. Yeah, somebody said I'm not junior Dr. Damages, I am amateur Dr. Damages. Whatever will suit you is okay by me. But sorry for that mix-up. I don't know how I didn't remove anyone. I don't know how it got removed, but it happens. That's why the technology is not the final answer. It's God as a final answer. So thank you. I want to welcome you, Mr. Chris. I want to welcome you, Comrade. I want to also welcome you, Mr. Mazi Okpara. Welcome to this evening roundup of the discussions we have had so far. Of course, you know that when Sister Omoye stepped in, she stepped in to remedy one of our guests, and so we rushed her in. But she was able to cover all grounds. I don't know if there's anything that she spoke about that you want to elaborate or refute or just comment on. You want any portion of our interview that you want to jump on and talk about. Yeah, Mr. Chris. No, let's start from Chris.
Okay. Yes, actually, I asked her a question. The reason I asked that question is just to confirm that leadership is not the problem in Nigeria. She answered it well. She answered it, and she talked very well. But I just want to confirm from her that the leadership is not the issue. You see, many people think that, God will manufacture people to savage Nigeria. That's not going to happen. The challenge that we have in Nigeria is the problem of incompatible diversity. This word, mark it, incompatible diversity. So anything we do, you always come back to ethnicity. Different value system, completely different value system. And no ethnic group wants to give up its own value. Now, what is happening is that one people want to, I don't know how any nationality we want to actually substitute white man colonization with a black man colonization. And that has been the problem. I was listening yesterday night, on when you, after Dr. Damage's show, the following show that was anchored, but I was listening at the background. Then I realized that, most of the time people come here to maybe make some irrational illogical statements and some kind of lacking objectivity in this discussion. But I think what we need to do is to tell ourselves the truth. If we are not going to tell ourselves the truth and not being objective in our reasoning, no matter how long we stay or no matter what we rant here, it's not going to help us. In Aburi, there was a very serious attempt to savage Nigeria. Had it been that those things were put in place, there will be still Nigeria today. In Nigeria, where you do not have these terrorists, the Nigeria where somebody will not go and import in their own nationality to try to take over the land of other nationalities. So these are the things we need to understand. And each time people talk about Nigeria as if it is the only problem or the problem of Nigeria is good leadership, I cannot. I will always disagree because the role of leadership is that of a vector. And unless we get it right, I come here a time I come so that we can talk, reason logically. And as I always said, good reason always give way to a better one. That is one good thing about logic. Thank you.
What do you say about the? It's still on the rumor level now. We don't know yet. But if Nigeria should lose 160 senior officers, or what will become of their military?
Well, when I had this, or the reason, probably the reasons is because if you are going to promote people that are lower in ranks, you are going to, retire the senior ones. That's the practice in the army, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
So
so why not wait for them? Why not? Why they rush? If you wanted to
no,
change
no,
the
no.
leadership
What
of the
I'm trying
army,
to say is that
you still have other redneck officers who are the rank of major generals and lieutenant generals, okay, and brigadier generals. So you could have taken from among those, or is it that you have found that there's nobody among that set that you can trust to lead your army, that you have to, if you know how much they spend to train one general, one army to get to the point of a general, so we just lose it overnight. Is that wisdom? Is that how things are done in other nations?
the earlier guest said Nigeria things are not done in the right way. So things are not done in the right way in Nigeria. But what I'm reasoning is this: every president would always want to make sure that he protects himself. Now, because we are ethnically attached to our ethnicity, our nationality, okay, since we are always attached to our nationality, now it is always easier for him to look at his nationality and pick from there. So it's not that he's doing anything any rational human being wouldn't do. But the problem with that is this: it creates the same. It further deepens the need for people to understand the importance of the nationality in Nigeria, and therefore should reorganize Nigeria according to their nationalities. You know, I know some people always argue that we are one Nigeria. Then I ask, what is the history of this Nigeria? And if Nigeria, so in answer to your question about the retirement of the generals, well, I know it's gonna be a difficult thing for them to replace them overnight, but Nigerian generals anyway are not battle generals; they are book generals, so they can send them to classes and then award them generals. So there's nothing so serious in retiring them.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. You're welcome. Sorry for the mix-up, but we're here right now, so let's talk. um, the guest said that things are not done as it's supposed to be done in other nations. Is that a badge of honor, or something that bedeviled Nigeria to a point that people see us as people who do not do things in the proper light? Is that a badge of honor, or how do we go about solving that?
I didn't get the beginning of
The beginning of my
your
question is
conversation.
that the guest said that things are not done in the proper way in Nigeria. If you saw the write-up I had on my slide, it was still the same thing that the slide was talking about. Things are not done in the right way. Even laws are negated in the interest of people, individuals, or government agencies, or government itself. Is that the way things should be done? Because if you don't have, those who speak English say, if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. So is Nigeria falling for everything right now?
Yeah. Before I start, I don't know if there's any way you can make an amendment. What you have on the background is a set of reaction to the last guest we have, Omoye's Corner, we actually streaming on reaction to Prof that was supposed to be here. I don't know if you can change that. But if you don't have a control over that, that's fine.
What I have is what?
What you have on the background, we're supposed to stream. We are streaming on a reaction to Prof, a guest that was supposed to be here.
Yes.
That couldn't. I think she couldn't make it or
go
something.
ahead. I'll try and rectify. Thank you.
Okay. That being said, you see, in law they said you cannot build something on nothing, it will collapse, right? We have been on the wrong trajectory. Like Mr. Chris said, we are not, we are not, I believe so much in what he said, but then it wasn't our intention. It's just like your place of origin, for example, the family you hail from, the community you hail from, you didn't have the choice. You were not opportunity to make contribution to that. I'm aware of the diversity we have. I'm aware of the tension we have. I'm aware of the multi-ethnic dimension. We can talk about that every day. But now that we are here as a nation, now that we are here, we have been forced to be together. And I think, look at somebody talking about self-determination. Look at the way the Nigerian system is treating him like a common criminal. Now that we are together, I think he said leadership is not the problem. I agree with him to an extent, but then I also disagree to a very large extent. Now that we have been together since 1914, an amalgamation of the Northern and the Southern Protectorates, I think what we are lacking is ability to transform our diversity, our weaknesses, our disadvantage into a bigger disadvantage. There is strength in unity. If we can come together, if somebody that can be able to manage the union that we have, I think we can do better as a nation. There is strength in all ramification. Is it in terms of population? If they tell you the world cannot survive without Africa, and the Africa cannot survive with Nigeria as the largest black population in the world, so they know our value. If the man from China can know the strength of our population alone, the market he has in our population, what are we doing to harness this union we have for to own our advantage? I know it might seem to be very difficult, but then the vision for naive secession, the one we attempted between 67 to 70, didn't end well. It was not properly managed. A lot of catastrophes, a lot of people lost their lives. Millions of lives were lost unnecessarily. I think we should concentrate more on what we can do, how we can be able to transform our weakness. Our weakness is to, transform them to strength as a union. Even when we want to agitate for a better society, that is not a crime. I subscribe to that. Because even if you divide Nigeria into 10, I think many people may not believe this. To a greater extent, we succeed in the problem. I'll give you a vivid example of my state. My state, as small as it is, if I tell you the tension within my state, you will be surprised. But it's not loud because we are from, nobody wants to, we're dealing with a lot of things within the state. A lot of things, a lot of stuff you might not understand. But we're able to manage it. You might not. We have, south, we have central, we have north. As small as it is, every state has, such unique peculiarities. Even in the southeast, the southwest, if they tell you, you see them, everybody like, oh, they are Yorubas, they are Igbos. Among the Igbos, I've been opportunity to discuss with one or two persons. They will tell you this one is this one is that. I had somebody here that told me he cannot marry his fellow Igbo. I said, why? He was giving me reasons. And you can't believe in this century, the reasons he was giving me. Very mundane to me as an outsider. But to him, he was, giving the best of reasons. So we have differences everywhere. I think the best thing, the greater thing is our ability to manage our differences for the greater good of the people. I think that's what we're lacking. And in terms of doing our ways of doing the wrong thing, we have never been. I don't see any leader that have been that prepared. To buttress what I said earlier, when Yar'Adua came, although he didn't stay for too long, if you remember the few things, the little things he did within the few years he spent, and the peace in Niger Delta, that was almost, ravaging the whole Niger Delta. The Robo, the Shakiris, the Jaws that were once living as brothers and sisters, they were, at once, they were at loggerhead with one another. But when Yar'Adua came, within a short period of time, because he had the sincerity of purpose and the political will to do the needful, he was able to restore peace within the shortest period. So if you have such a leader that mean well, that have the national interest at heart, not this crop of grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. This is my life ambition. Is either do or die, either my way or the highway. It's my Milocon, this turn by turn syndrome. Is what is dealing with us squarely. We cannot continue like this. I understand the need for people. If marriage is not working, we should divorce, everybody go his or our way. I think going our way will be a step in the right direction. It might be a necessary condition, but not a sufficient condition for an egalitarian society. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And I hear you. And whilst I work on trying to change the titles, Mr. Okpara, you heard what he said. Are you going to move it forward, or you have some contrary opinion?
Yeah, good evening, folks. Your guest, when your guest was talking, I think this guy, to Niger, I don't know the whole name now, was talking about rendition, and he was the guy was really supporting rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was giving examples of Americans that American government does it. That American government does it does not mean that it's international allowed. Extraordinary rendition is against international law. Even in America, it's not a law. For example, this is American Society of Civil Liberty Union. This is the abstract. I will read, but I will be very brief. Extraordinary is a practice of kidnapping or capturing people and sending them to countries that use torture or abuse in interrogations. The federal government has shipped its kidnapped persons off to who is who of torture violators, including Syria, Uzbekistan, Egypt, and Yemen. That's where they send their people, their rendition. Why would the government want to invoke a such policy? Extraordinary rendition violates the Constitution and federal law of America. This is America Civil Union, Law Union. I'm reading from their website. Then he's telling you that extraordinary rendition violates Constitution and federal law. Its very purpose is to send people for interrogation to places where in American states view the rule of law does not apply. That's what they do. Here in European Union, extraordinary rendition is a crime against humanity. When George Bush used some European countries as a transit for those people they captured in Afghanistan and other places, like Macedonia, like Poland, they paid heavily because it is against European Union law. Even when General Buhari kidnapped Umaru Diko in 1983 or 84, it was a problem between Nigerian government and UK government. In fact, the diplomatic this was cut off because of that action. He wanted to kidnap Umaru Diko. So anybody who is coming here telling you that America does it, America does not mean that it's international law. America does not even believe in International Criminal Court. It's not a member of ICC. Russia is not, China is not, and other countries, because they believe that they are police of the world. They cannot abide in international law. Extraordinary rendition is against Geneva Convention. So anybody who comes here and telling you that America does it, that is why Nigeria will do it, that person is not only is mischievous. It's mischievous person. Look, when Buhari was, killing Shiite Muslims in Zaria, we condemned it. We posted it. We retweeted it. We condemned that act because they were killing their fellow Muslims, non-Muslims, even though they are different, beliefs, but they were killing them extraordinary, killing them in the streets of Zaria. Everybody condemned Buhari for torturing El Zakazaki and his wife, for killing his children. These people had no guns. These people were like doing their own. In fact, do you know that here in Germany, they do it every time. These are Shura. In London, they do it in everywhere. They do this. The parade when they want to do it. Nobody attacks them. But in Nigeria, they are attacked. They were killed, and they're still being killed. Even proscribed. Shia Muslims. So when injustice is done to one person, is injustice to another person. When Muslims are killed, we have to condemn it. When Christians are killed, we have to condemn it. So somebody coming here telling you that the rendition is not international law. It's against international law. And that too, Nigeria is he speaks slowly, but he is just a very, if you listen to him, you will be very mindful of that guy. Honestly. What our sister was talking about is not new, my brother. It's not new. Right. It's not new. What your guest was talking this evening, it's not a new thing. Everybody has said what she has said here. Nigeria problem is very simple to be solved, but these people, they don't want to solve it. Nigeria is called a federal republic of Nigeria. What is federal? What is federal in Nigeria system? Nothing. How can you tell me that Nigeria is a federal republic, while election will be held very soon? There will be election in Anambra, and I tell somebody in what they call Abuja to be the chairman of Anambra election, to monitor it, to do this, how can you do that in a federal system? Where you live, there is an election coming up very close in New Jersey or somewhere like that. Does the federal government has anything to do with the gubernatorial election in New Jersey? This is the problem we have. If you want to practice a federal republic, let us do it. If not, what we are doing there is a charade. We are not serious people. Because there is no way you would tell me that is federal republic, then the oil in Niger Delta, all the headquarters are located in Abuja. All the headquarters of all the whole oil companies are located in Abuja and Lagos. You pump that oil from Niger Delta, refine it overseas. When you are bringing it back, you bring it through Lagos, and you say it's a federal republic. In the United States, Houston, Nebraska, those places that have oil, well, they manage their own oil and pay tax right to the federal government. Oil in Houston belongs to the Houston states. What they do with the profit is none of their business, as long as they pay the tax. If you want to, Nigeria is very easy to manage, but these people, because everybody is there, we are very cynical. We are very, very wicked. It's all about me, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, because that's why other Nigeria is suffering. This what do you call that? This regime, does it profit anybody? Does it profit the Yoruba man? Does it profit an Igbo man? If only the cronies.
Okay.
If you want to live in a country, let us make it work. Let us make it federal republic so that everybody will manage his or her resources. In Sokoto State, you don't conduct an election in Sokoto State and somebody in Abuja is telling you he'll come to Abuja and announce a result. Where is it done in Federal Republic?
Thank you so much, Okpara. I think your point is well understood, and I understand it also. Well, I don't think somebody making comment. Much as I don't want to respond to comments being made, but the truth of the matter is that black people don't even talk as much as other nations talk. We don't talk because if we are talking, our problem would have been solved. We don't talk. We hardly talk to each other. This forum, this forum is the only one that is civil so far that I have ever seen. You go to other networks and you see what happens there. So the earlier we learn how to converse without being, agreeing, but not without being agreeable. And let us be agreeable. We can disagree, but let's be agreeable. That's been the poor man. The black man's problem, as I see it, by my own submission, because we in our tradition, sometimes when you oppose an idea, the person sees you as an enemy. It doesn't see it as to say, okay, what this person is suggesting means that this thing I'm doing is not working, and so let me see. And one of the things I learned in management is that the best idea in a company must not come from the manager of the company. If you know what how in the developed world are used to advance, that's why they brought something like called a lead. Master can be the head of the company, but when a brilliant idea comes from somebody he knows has the ability to do it, he say, okay, Mr. Musa, you be the lead on this project, and so everybody, defers to Musa while that project is running. But in our own case, we know everything, and once it's not you who is marshalling out the order, you think that you are being belittled. So even if you run out of idea, like Paul Biya has run out of idea since 20 years ago, he's still there because he's the big man. Anyway, Master, you have been listening, and I think you may have your own view that probably be different from that's so far been canvassed. So please go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Alaji KJ.
Thank you, sir.
And I must commend you also. What I respect about you is it doesn't look like you carry things over. I know sometimes even me, I've been on your case. I've said very harsh words, but thank you for being a gentleman, not to carry things over. All right. So, look, I won't join issue with anybody because I thought the essence of this segment was to further uh, dive deeper into what the main segment has trashed upon. For me, I think the lady was exceptionally good in terms of letter and spirit. I really liked the way she was thinking, and I liked the way she was talking also. She she is very forward looking, you know. For instance, she has thrown the challenge to you guys that are outside the country. You sit and complain every day. Okay. What are you gonna do? One single low-hanging fruit is okay. You are in America. Nobody say don't be in America, but can you come here and see what you can do back here in Nigeria? She's not saying come back, but she's putting it as a discussion point. And I really think that if we're all honest people, if we are not cry babies, these are the kind of topics we should be talking about. Okay, look. So if I am to come back to Nigeria, what are the issues? What would be the challenge? What are my fears? What do I have to do? And I really respect her for taking taking on to that tangent, for me, I think these are the kind of things we should actually be discussing, you know. To complain about our leaders only shows our level of ignorance of how the world operates. If you have really a good leader today in any country in Africa, you will see that there are some people that would want to take that leader out, or there will be a consistent campaign of calumny against that person. I can list 20 leaders that have been killed, people who we believe are good leaders. They didn't die a natural death. So in my mind, look, we have to do something differently. We have to put our thinking caps. And the good news or the bad news is that no matter how long you stay in that America or England, you're still a black man. You're still a black man. So in the end, whether we want to see ourselves together or differently, or you believe an Igbo man is different from a Hausa man, the world sees the two of you as the same thing. You know, I tell people the story. I was working at some point in Egypt. I'm a Muslim, but an Egyptian first will see me as a black man. He doesn't want to care to know what my religion is first. I was driven to a hotel. The hotel, the guy who is supposed to be opening door, the moment he saw it's a black man sitting at the back of the car, he didn't want to open the door because I'm a black man. He's not interested in whether this guy shared the same religion with him or not. This is how the world operates. Anywhere you go, they may deceive you into thinking that, oh, okay, you're friendly, you're all that. But I think it was forefathers or somebody who said it. Yes, they fight among themselves, but they're also smart enough to know when to put that fight aside, that difference aside, and cooperate. This is all for me that is really important. This cooperation that we need to be thinking of. I don't like this guy. I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like the religion he does. You know, I don't like his worldview of life. But we have to really begin to agree on things that we must cooperate upon. But I guess let me stop there. I think the lady did well. Her perspective is right. You have to look backward. You have to look home, and you have to start asking difficult questions. How do I come back to my homeland? How do I make a re-entry? I ran away. But the truth is that the only justification for running away is to fight another day. But you guys seem to have run away, never to fight again. I rest my case there.
All right. Thank you, Maska. Thank you for your kind words also. Now, I want to ask something. Were you opportune to know Nigeria when, if you come abroad as a Nigerian, people rush your bag at the airport and they rush to serve you? I don't know. Did you have the opportunity of knowing that time?
No, I
I
don't
said
know. Well,
okay. I
I
said
don't
that
know.
because you see what you
I
said.
don't know. I don't know
Okay,
that time, sincerely.
what you said is most
This is even the
unfortunate.
first time I'm hearing that.
Oh yes, it's look. I have an uncle who went to Canada. They were offering him citizenship. He said, "For what? I mean, come on,
But
get away
KJ,
with
are
it."
you suggesting I'm like your uncle now? What is going on here?
No, I'm saying I was a small boy that time. I was in primary school, so
But
it
being
wasn't like
I'm just saying that, like, if you had expected me to have lived abroad during the time of your uncle, something is wrong here.
no.
It
I'm
doesn't
only
look
saying
like I
that.
can be your uncle.
No, you're missing the point, Masker. The point I'm trying to draw here is this: we Nigerians brought ourselves to where we are today.
No, I don't agree with you totally.
But also listen to me now. You just saying you don't agree with me. It becomes an issue because you're not even
No,
heard what I'm going to
I'm
say.
not stopping you from. You have made a statement. I'm saying I don't agree. That doesn't take
Okay,
away from you to continue.
now this uncle went to Canada and he was going to do a master's degree. And when he got to Canada, right from in the campus there, two Oyibo. One chose to be washing his clothes. The other one was cleaning and making food for him whilst he was a student. I know that much because at that time, I was in primary school. Okay. And at that time, that was when Nigerian money was going 75 kobo to $1. So he had a lot of money. And every black man who steps into America or other parts of the world, they are looked at. They even call you a sheikh. They are following you, and just for you to make sure that you can drop something. This was the story of Nigeria.
No, even look what
nobody. I'm coming, sir. Nobody came and helped us to destroy the place. We destroyed it ourselves.
No, you don't see. That's why I disagree with you, KJ. Okay, it looks like that, but I know that that's not true. That we didn't destroy ourselves.
Okay, all right. Mr. Uzo, you're welcome. Yeah, you can make your comments, sir. Welcome, Mr. Ike. But let's hear from Uzo before we come to Mr. Ike. We can't hear you. You are muted, sir.
I mean, the Ike,
No, you now. Uzo, speak.
Okay, no problem. See, I wanted to say something because the way it's going, it looked like
your audio is not good. What's wrong with your
right?
Your audio?
We in diaspora, okay? You can hear me now?
It's not very clear, but you can go ahead.
Okay, once can we take to this and saying, we in diasporas, both the Igbos and the Yorubas, we are the ones that are going to destroy Nigeria with our own social hands, right?
Okay, Uzo, hold on. Uzo, hold on. Your audio is not good. While you try to correct it, let's go to Ike so you can figure it out and come back to you. Is that okay? All right. Mr. Ike.
Yeah.
Okay, Uzo, I think it's the headset. But let him speak. So after that, you will have corrected yourself so we can. Both of them have gone mute. Okay, Ike, please go ahead.
I don't know what's your topic because I don't know what you're discussing.
Okay, let Uzo.
We are off and on. Why are you laughing? Your connection wasn't good, so I have to.
Okay, I'm sorry. My connection was not good initially. I don't know what happened, but we're trying to just pick up from where we stopped. And we're talking about the reaction of what Omoye said when she was here, and also have moved ahead of that a bit because of a new introduction from Mr. Maska. Ozo was just about to make a statement, so let him go ahead, and then we'll come to you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we'll hear you now.
Okay, what I'm saying is this: it looks like we in diaspora are the one that are going to destroy Nigeria with what we are doing. All right. Sometimes I begin to think what's going on with us. All right. In a way that we make some comment, make some things that is not tied with what's going on in Nigeria. We stay ourselves here together all over the world. We rally as a brother. As Maska said, black is black, white is white. We say ourselves, Obama, we see Obama, Osama in working place, they are brothers. All right? But the way they go their separate way, they're going to tear the country apart. Which is, for me, I look at that, Able can like bear witness here. Sometimes AJ will say something that I don't like, I will repeat it. No, it's not normal. Even Passat would say, no, that is not it. It's an Igbo person. I won't support when something is wrong. All right? I won't call it an Igbo person, then I will support what he's saying because it's an Igbo person. All right? Yesterday, I'll come by yesterday, all right? As Chris said, I begin to think, what's going on with us? Because the other way around is, why are people trying to like make fire where there is no cuisine? You try to make fire where there is no cuisine. Yeah, he may be like, I went back asleep, I think. I say, okay, what's going on? Because at the end of the day, Forefather was like, when the killing starts, I was like, who is killing who? Who wants to kill who? All right? I tell you, you can't go to a one-man show, go online, and come to the majority show, and whatever you learn from there, you bring it down here. Everybody had their reason of coming to this show, but reason of going to that show. All right? I wanted to ask yesterday, have you seen since all these 60s, have you seen where you say in Lagos State, in the whole Southwest, see an Igbo man and Igbo man fighting? Like you don't hear say Igbo people about fight in Lagos State or anywhere in Southwest. We can call ourselves every name, Ofe Mano, Adiokuta Momi, this, that. But you cannot see them fight. But some people would like to, like, the politicians are putting fire, and when it start burning, all right, because we are not fearless. We are worried we fight, but we don't bring the fight. We bring the fight to fight. All right. I will tell people that in every area boys who they use as Nigeria, in every area boys with the reach of 10, 3 are Igbos. In every destruction in Lagos State, we are bring in 10. I mean, 2%, 3% are Igbos, 5% are Igbos, 5% I live in Lagos State. Our business and know how things work. So let us stop igniting fire where there's no kerosene. The thing we like win the diaspora can burn that country where we are going. All right. And most of us doing that, we don't even travel. They don't even travel, they don't have anything to lose. Yeah. They don't even know where they don't even know where Shagamu is. They don't even know where Shagamu, where would Remo, why would they even know, but they claim to be from that area. And most of the people preparing this thing, it's not even like, I don't know, but at the end of the day, one Nigeria is better for everybody. But at the end of the day, I still believe that if one Nigeria is not, if we keep on pushing this, it's not working. Everybody will like we that are always thinking that this one Nigeria, we decide one day, okay, let everything go down. Everything's going to go down. Yeah, everybody can fight. Everybody can do whatever they want to. Can use their money with the connection you have to do what they want to do. All right. But sometimes I come to wonder that, okay, all this is going on, we are blaming the government. So in the next 20 years now, those guys now trying to burn, kill, do this one, they get appointment in government. Inside 10 of them, one of them will have appointment in government. What's going to happen? Is it the way you are going to live in Nigeria? Is it the way you are going to live? Is it the way we are going to like live as one brother? It's not going to happen. Or some of us that speak, okay, let us maintain peace. Not that nobody have, we don't know what to do, or we are scared. All right? Yeah, I want to answer that question. I have to answer it. What do you want me to do? But you say yesterday that what I buy my people, then I'll be happy about it. You have to explain who want to buy my people. You have to explain. You have to explain that. All right. So sometimes we make a statement here coming from somebody that is a host in the remedy show. Sometimes not everything you see, everything you reason, you come here, you say it out. People are watching. All right, people are watching. Not everything you think is going to be. You say it that way it is. Sometimes you hold back and think, this one to say, what will be the impact of it? How are you going to impact some people? How is it going to affect some people emotionally, physically, and otherwise? How is it going to affect them? All right. So we have to address this issue if we are to keep on enjoying this show. All right. If we come here to enjoy the show, talk about Nigeria, we'll come here to talk about Nigeria. If we come here to attack each other, then I'm not going to work you. I will start attacking. All right. Then I would tell him. I would tell each one of them the road to their village. The rope country they used to mold their grandfather. Then I will tell them. But sometimes someone to maintain peace, like somebody don't know what he's doing. Please, I know people are listening. Let us try to.
I don't understand you. What exactly are you saying? Because
what I'm saying is this, all right? In a nutshell, let us try, no matter how aggressive we are, try to not pretend put fire where there's no crazy. All right? When we keep on putting fire, no crazy, when you're going to burn, you're going to people from the diaspora going to burn Nigeria the way it's going. And
okay, let's try to be our brother's keeper. That's what Uzo is saying.
If you see airport, see Yoruba now, people preparing that are people abroad, not people at home. It's not people at home.
Thank you, Uzo. I gave you the opportunity to speak, and I wanted you to be able to explain yourself, but you seem not to be coming across that way. I want to give you. I have videos. At least when I say I have videos, I can play them and you can see them. So I want to let you know that this channel we try as much as possible to be very responsible. This channel
he's not talking about.
Hold on. No, hold on, Master. we are even not even close to what others do outside of this channel. I'm serious. So for me, and look, the kind of person I am, if not for Rudolph, I would not even be here. So I think we come with the highest the level of responsibility on this channel. But listen, this is the balancing act in the media. You have to choose whether to listen. That is what is going on in the street vis-a-vis what you are reporting. The reason why we decided to do away with NTA, that majority of us stop listening to NTA, is because whilst Nigeria is burning, NTA is telling you everything is okay, and you know you cannot go to the street because you know that what's going on. So you have to. It's a balancing act. When we come here with news, we even give other people opportunity to make inputs. What is your input? What do you see? And sometimes those inputs come from everybody. And sometimes all of us are talking about the same thing. We will come here, we'll still give you opportunity to make your input. What is it that we missed that we need to discuss? And we don't want to scuffle your own idea. So that's why we allow you to say, have your say. But today is 90 Minutes Africa. So we're talking about what is going on in Africa.
KJ, maybe 90 Minutes Africa had their say. The dynamic is involved, all right? Yeah, you have a say, but what I'm saying is this. Don't come on this platform the time when they start buying your people in Lagos. What you want, they start buying your people in Lagos. That's a wrong statement. You don't say that. When they start buying your people in Lagos, they are talking in the other shoe, how they're going to genocide by your people in Lagos. That is a wrong statement. I didn't say anybody knows what you say, but when using such a language, yeah, yesterday now. Hey, yeah, yesterday. When Father was saying that, he heard it from one man show. All right.
So
that's what the Southwest are planning. That's
hold on.
What would I say? That's what I want. I hate that.
Okay, let's move on. But I want to let you know something, Uzo. At least, I mean, for me, I think I don't know if I come across you as someone who is responsible, but for me, I think I'm a very responsible man. Okay, and I listen to a lot of channels, especially Nigerian channels, run by other people. Okay, one of which is the one that is being run by Igbo people. Me and Dr. Chidi were in that program on Friday fighting them because what they were saying was totally so wrong. So, but you see, we all can't be the same thing.
Oh, but are you not saying the same thing Uzo is saying?
No. But the way he's bringing it to us, we are not the ones who are doing that. If forefather was here, it would be different.
So don't
but
bring
maybe
it
I speak the truth. We speak on
what I mean.
Let's move on.
What I mean, I go to other Igbo places. I won't bring what they said here. It's okay. What I mean. You don't bring it. Let them say what I want to say. That's their business. Not to bring it here and start put it on my face. All right.
Okay.
Not to bring it here and start rub it on my face. That's what I mean. All right.
Forefathers does that every time. He goes to another platform, and whenever he comes here, he will tell you what they're doing. He's just a gossiper. He will go there, listen, and tell you what is happening here. It's unfair.
Hold on, guys. It's not here now. The media will have a responsibility to give somebody, the right of response. So since it's not here, let's leave it. You have made your point. Let's not go over that again. Mr. Ike, go ahead.
You're asking me to go ahead. I don't know what you people are talking about because I didn't understand anything Uzo was saying.
Okay.
So what do you want me to? Where do you want me to come in? We are not children. You're asking me. Go on. What are you talking about? I don't understand anything.
Now, this you.
Okay. Ike, we are talking about the events that happened in Nigeria. Omoye was here. It's Omoye's corner. She was here as our guest, and she spoke eloquently of what is happening in Nigeria, almost on every topic that was presented to her. She spoke on the governance structure. She spoke on women in leadership, how women can use their power to take over and be able to change the Nigerian narrative. She spoke on Nnamdi Kanu. She spoke on the answer, or rather, what is going on between between Shore and the police. She spoke about, almost everything. So you can, if those things make any distance to you, you can speak on them.
She said people in diaspora should start coming back to Nigeria. You won't say that one.
She said people like you who are now billionaires where you are should now come back and take your empire to Nigeria and be able to establish so that Nigeria can be good.
No, that's not what she said. The empire that he has there should remain. He should set another empire in Nigeria.
Hold on. Mr. Ike, are you preparing to go and set up another empire in Nigeria?
Well, we nobody who is a Nigerian that would not like to have something in Nigeria. It depends on the choices of individual. Each and every one of us has our aspiration in life. Each and every one of us has our ambition in life. Each and every one of us has what they are thinking about, what you want your life to be at a certain time in life. And we have different kinds of perspective to it. So I cannot, because Ozo is doing investment in Nigeria and I will pack my things and go to make investment in Nigeria. Or because KJ is investing in Nigeria, I go and invest in Nigeria because he's investing in Nigeria. No, our destinies are not the same, right? Our visions about life is not the same thing. We have different perspective about life. So what I think about life is different from what you think about life. And what I make out of life is completely different what you make out of your own life. It's not going to be a competition of people going back to Nigeria to invest. Nobody is supposed to remind anybody to go to Nigeria to make an investment. If the environment is good for me to go to Nigeria and live and make an investment, nobody should remind me that. But also, I should be able to think deep before I say I want to go and make investment in Nigeria. I'm not going to follow any bandwagon of people who has gone to make investment in Nigeria to go and put my money that I work every day and night where I live, and I go to Nigeria and invest it, and somebody will wake up one morning and decide to take it away from me, So Nigeria is a place where you cannot be able to, you don't know what happens to the next 15 minutes. Maska, for example, is living in Nigeria. He traveled out, but most majority he lives in Nigeria. It's easy for Maska to maneuver Nigeria, but it's not easy for any of us to maneuver Nigeria. That's one fact you have to accept yourself. Because Maska live in Nigeria, there are so many areas Maska will go in Nigeria, which most of us who live outside, you cannot go. Because even the thought that your family, your brother or your sister or your mother had you want to go a certain place, he would take his rap and block the road and begin to shout on the village. So it is just one fact we have to accept. People who live in Nigeria, when I was living in Nigeria completely, when people are talking about what is going on in Nigeria or Lagos, I don't care what they're saying. I live my life normally. Because I can maneuver my way, like Sister Omoye was talking about maneuvering your way. We have seen stories online here and practical things that have happened. Nigerians that have gone home to invest their money in Nigeria, even using their brothers and friends as the third eye in the business, they end up claiming the business and they end up destroying everything you have acquired. Some Nigerians has given a lot of their family members and friends build a house for us. They build the house in their names. There are so many things that people who live outside here have suffered in the hands of trying to go to Nigeria to invest. We have seen people who have gone to invest and they kill them. The same people that they encourage them to come home and invest, they kill them and that investment never exists and the person loses his life. So there are so many things that is going on in Nigeria. You can't say because you are opportune to be able running something in Nigeria, you think that everybody has the same opportunity. No, nobody wants to throw his money in the ocean. Because you that live outside the shores of Nigeria, you know how you make your money. Some of us, some people who live outside this world, they work more than 5 jobs every day. Some people sleep in their cars outside this where they live, where they work. And at the end of the day, some people who are in Nigeria think that when you wake up in the morning, you pluck the money from the tree. And they think that every time the money, they send us dollar. They think you don't work for the dollar. They don't know that even before your salary is paid, the whole taxes you're supposed to pay, they have taken it away from your salary. And every little money that is left for you is what you have to use to plan for your life and your family. Right? So it's not easy. It's not easy for somebody to just go to Nigeria to make investment. A lot of people has gone to Nigeria to make investment. They didn't succeed. Few has gone, they succeeded. So somebody is not going to be campaigning for me. It's my life. You can't campaign for me to go to Nigeria and live. What am I going to go to Nigeria to live? To live for what? What am I going to do in Nigeria to live? What is it that I'm going to go to do in Nigeria? What is it they're going to give me? What kind of peace do I have in Nigeria that I'm going to be able to go to Nigeria to live? If I retire, I'm going to do what in Nigeria? To go and live in Nigeria? A lot of us build big houses in Nigeria. Never have they walked into the house that they built. When they go to Nigeria, they stay in the hotel. Why is it that they can't go to the house that they spend millions of Nigerian money to build? Because of insecurity. Because you don't trust the people that are around. Even your family people can organize kidnappers to come and kidnap you. So what are we talking about? I'm not discouraging anybody who wants to go to Nigeria to make investment. That's not my point. My point is that it's not me that is the problem of Nigeria. And it's not going to be me that is going to be the problem of Nigeria. Because I know that most of the Nigerians that are living in Nigeria are the architect of the problems of Nigeria. Because every day, for example, we come here to talk about how we are going to do, what are we going to do to make Nigeria better. They are the same people who are living in Nigeria who will collect 5,000 naira and go and commit crime. Yesterday, we were showing a video of the useless governor of Anambra State who went to manipulate the people of Anambra, showing them a hospital that he said he launched and commissioned, and he had the 12 people that had the operation, and 200 people came to take treatment. When there was nothing like that existed. The hospital he claimed that he launched that was not even open. A governor who had been in seat for 4 years. Was he not the same people of Anambarians? Was it not the same people that are clapping for him? When he was using them to manipulate the world, something that is practically seen by everybody. Because after the shenanigan, people went back to discover nothing that was existing in that world. Nobody ever will come there to do any kind of operation. The people he manipulated and put in the hospital, when they were showing it on video, why didn't they show us the operation? Open your stomach and show us where the doctor did the operation. This is a governor who called himself a professor. This is a governor who we think that is supposed to be the man, the eyes of the governors in the Southeast. But what is he doing now? He's manipulating the people of Anambra State. At the end of the day, when he go to Abuja, he's APC. When he come back to Anambra, he's Africa. Is it not the same people of Anambarians who are clapping for him when they know that what the governor gave people 500 naira to go and Photoshop in a hospital that has not been, there was nothing inside the hospital? So what are we talking about? Is it not the same people we come here every day that we want to save? Are they not the same people who go to climb with all these politicians? So, and you think I'm the problem of Nigeria? I'm never going to be the problem of Nigeria, and I will never be the problem of Nigeria. I want Nigeria to work. I want Nigeria to work for everybody. If Nigeria is working for everybody, most of us who live in this part of the world, if you want to go to vacation, you go to your country for vacation. But most of us, we leave Nigeria, we go to South Africa, we go to Morocco, we go to Egypt for vacation. And you leave Nigeria, we go to Zimbabwe, we go to Kenya, we go to other African countries for vacation. But we overrun our country, Nigeria. Why is it that we can't go there? Because when you go, you don't have peace. You cannot have peace. You want to go to hospital? How many people have lost their life because they brought somebody in the hospital and the doctor said, if you don't pay money, they're not going to treat the person? How many people have died in Nigerian hospital because that they cannot pay money? There is no damn payment. Why not save life? Is life not better than money? Where where each and every one of us live, is it the way they treat you in the hospital where you live? They tell you have to pay money before they treat you. And that's a country you're advising me to go to Nigeria to live, to go and invest my money in Nigeria. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy. I work for my money. I work hard for whatever that I have. And I'm not ready to go and use it and play basketball in Nigeria. All in the name I want to be. I want to go back to Nigeria. Go back to
Okay.
do
Thank you so much, Ike. Thank you, and I appreciate that. Yes, and I'm coming to two Nigeria's one brain cell, and I will. Though I know you have other things to say, but I want to also put in what Mr. Ike said, and the
Right.
guest said we should be preparing to go back to Nigeria to contribute our part. There are some Nigerians who went to invest in Lagos State, and that those investments have been all knocked down and wasted. There's a young girl by the name of Somi who left England to go and
Me
try to
or okay.
in Nigeria, and you know she's no longer with us now because according to their story, she jumped out of the three-story building when she heard of the armed robbers, which is obviously not true. But that's the story, that's the official statement. In her father's interview, the father said it wasn't true because some people who are there who happened had given them another version of that story. But however, we're not here to talk about her. I'm just bringing this up because of those people who are planning. There used to be a very international athlete many years ago when we were in primary school who was gone down at the police checkpoint. I'm trying to remember his name now because I was quite young at that time. Is it Sunday Udo or something like that? He was a 200-meter dash. Is it 100 or 200-meter dash champion for Nigeria, and came back to Nigeria, and at the police checkpoint or along the road, that guy never returned to his position. The question now be, with all these kind of such events and stories, will you be encouraged to go back to Nigeria and go and use some of your talent to develop the country if called upon?
First of all, or is it lagging? Is it lagging?
No. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's well. Assume Nigeria was gonna give any kind of development that there would have to be some kind of foreign. So this would mean in terms of foreign direct investments, monies, and if people can actually obviously expertise. So as we know, a lot of Nigerians are very renowned, from doctors down to architects, different kind of sciences. So would I encourage anybody to go to Nigeria? Obviously, what am I supposed to say? But are the meaning I would say yes. But are the is the situation on the ground conducive, especially if leaving a country to go
Okay.
means
I don't know what's wrong with your mic. It's not. It's season up. It's cracking.
yeah, let me so I think I'm like
Maybe check a network.
Okay. If you can sign off and come back again, we'll still give you opportunity.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it's better now. All right. So can you hear me perfectly? Like, is it
We
clear?
can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So what I'm saying is, of course, I'm not going to say no, but are the
is the situation on the ground conducive for you to actually shine in a way that it'll help propel the country to the needed heights? At this point, we'll confidently say no. But every step, no matter how small or how little or how light, is needed. So that would mean, in all reality, Nigerians at some point, or people of Nigerian descent, will have to go back to provide their expertise and provide the needed funds. Having said that, the reason I actually came on was because I heard something Mazzy said, or a bunch of things Mazzy said, and I just would like to clarify. I do understand that sometimes, or a lot of times, people expect the law to be logical. To your dismay, the law actually is not logical. Sometimes, to a layman, the law actually could be deemed illogical. I say that to say the law does not care about your sentiments. It doesn't care about your emotions. The law only cares about the laid down rules in the Constitution. Now, I am not taking umbrage to the things you said, Mazi, because I think you are coming from a place of not understanding me properly. If you listen to me whenever I speak, usually I do not take a position. I don't say this person is guilty. I don't say he's innocent. I just say, based on what is in front of me, this is what it is. Why do I do that? Because I do understand, for example, the Nnamdi Kanu case that is upsetting you and several other people hasn't reached its conclusion. Now, to what you quoted or the things you misquoted me on, it was a discussion between me and KJ. We've had this discussion yesterday. Now, today he brought it up to the guest, Omoye. He referenced her as a lawyer, which would mean she's an expert in the law. And when she didn't deny it and she didn't denounce it, she answered as a matter of fact based on the law. In fact, when she spoke to me, she also mentioned several jurisdictions and the law. Like I said, if she was speaking as a human being, I cannot discount your feelings. I can't do that. But if you're speaking on the law, within the ambits of the law, and I find something that is incredulous, it is only necessary that I call it out. Now, is extraordinary rendition frowned upon all over the world? Yes, it is. In the overwhelming jurisdictions everywhere in the world, to extraordinarily rendition someone in front of a court is frowned upon. But that wasn't what I was talking about, or that wasn't specifically what I was talking about. You can go back and listen to what I said, which was why I was asking her if she was talking about US law or Nigerian law or referencing that. Extraordinary rendition is different when the defendant is a fugitive. This is what I've been reiterating, and I've constantly harped on this. Such as in Nnamdi Kanu's case, if it was in the United States, this is why I was asking her that, and this is why I made the reference to cases like U.S. versus Postal and U.S. versus Mitchell, U.S. versus Matter, and I mentioned this incident when Noriega was brought, the Panama president. In the past, I've mentioned Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's situation, how he ended up in Guantanamo, and he's still currently on trial 20 years, over 20 years after. I mentioned cases like Ochoa. Then I even mentioned U.S. versus Toscanino, which was settled in the Second Circuit, right, where it went against the general doctrine. So I'm not saying he's guilty or he's innocent. I'm just saying, if it was in the United States and he was a fugitive from justice, the clock would have not told, meaning maybe he wouldn't even have a leg to stand on to fight for a violation of his Speedy Trial Act, meaning the statute of limitations would not come into effect because he had already been arraigned before the court, trial had commenced before he left. Now, the reason why he left can be argued, but in a court, the court does not care how a fugitive is brought before it. An absconder from justice, the court doesn't care how they are brought back to court. This is what I was.
It is not true. It is not true.
Sir,
it's not true.
Sir, let me finish, please.
Hold on, let him finish.
It's okay. Let me just finish.
I'll give you enough time. You have 1 more minute to round up.
Yeah, please.
All right. So I mentioned case laws. If you want to go check them, that is on you. You want to go check U.S. Matter. You want to go check U.S. versus Toscanino, which I said they decide, but it was short-lived and eventually overturned. I'm not speaking from a point of ignorance. Again, I am not speaking from a point of emotion or sentiment. I'm speaking from a point of U.S. case law, which is what I thought she was going to be speaking from because he called her a lawyer. Again, to end it, extraordinary rendition is frowned upon in most jurisdictions.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Wait, before okay me, but in the case where the person is a fugitive, the rules are different.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine. Okay. Let me respond. I will be.
Hold on. Hold on. Two Nigerian brain cell. We don't need to go far to look for examples from the U.S. Just this administration alone, some few months ago, a particular guy was deported, and the Supreme Court, the Court of the United States, asked the president to bring him back. He was brought back to this country because it was said he was wrongfully deported, and it didn't follow the legal process.
KJ,
so
he wasn't
hold
a fugitive.
Hold on now. You see,
he wasn't a fugitive.
You were talking.
Listen to what I say. Listen.
You were
there are
talking.
Pertinent. Wait.
You
there
were
are
talking.
Pertinent statements.
Listen,
we don't have to talk
one
over
can't
each
get
other.
the word out for you guys. You took more than 7 minutes to explain, and now you don't even
know.
want to get
I
the
actually
word.
took 3 minutes and 11 seconds. I'm looking at the time.
That's not true. That's not true.
All right, listen. Let's just. I used 20 minutes. I used 50 minutes. But the point still is, the guy you are referencing, Garcia. We have to be careful when we reference the law. Okay, the guy that was sent back to El Salvador, he was not a fugitive.
Listen to me. Extraordinary rendition. It's a human right law. It's against any form. In fact, let me put it on the distance so you can see. Hold on, sir. Let me put it up because I.
KJ, you muted yourself.
Hold on. Thank you. Now this is what's there. Read for yourself, please.
I don't have to read. I spent enough years doing this. I don't have to read anything. If I'm speaking from a place of
KJ, I have to go now, but
you can easily call me out.
Somebody else. Listen, let him flow, please.
Let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
We can build it up.
You know, that's what I'm saying, because it don't come here and tell I talk about emotional or sentiment. No, nobody's emotional. Nobody's emotional. We are just here. You are living in a civilized world. I live in a civilized world. You don't come here and tell me that it's about emotional. When America renditioned those guys after the 9/11, look at what European Union did to Poland that was involved. In July 2014, European Court of Human Rights condemned the government of Poland for participating in CIA extraordinary rendition, ordering Poland to pay restitution to men who had been adopted, taken to CIA black site in Poland and tortured. Torture is banned under European Convention on Human Rights. So these people, what are you telling me? If America does it, that does not mean that is illegal, that is legal. It is an illegal, practice in law. You don't. If US go to Panama or Guantanamo Bay or anywhere and capture people, it is an illegal.
Okay,
that's why
let's move on.
That's why they are not part of this IPC. What are you talking about?
KJ, just give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Finally,
I'm not
finally,
more
please.
time,
Finally, please.
No, you have to.
Excuse me. Finally, I have to log up now. Finally,
yes.
Why did UK that colonized Nigeria, why did the UK cut off diplomatic tie with Nigeria when General Buhari, the same guy who kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, why did UK cut off that relationship with Nigeria when Buhari did the same thing to Morodiko? Why?
Because he violated US British law.
Yeah.
Again, okay, but listen to me.
European law. So
he violated UK law. Wait. Let's not argue. Mazi. Wait, KJ. Let me just make my submission.
No.
I did not at any point, but I did not at any point say extraordinary rendition was right. Why can't you guys just comprehend what I'm saying? At no point did I say it was right. At no point did I say it was wrong. All I'm saying is, if based on what he asked Omoye, if she was going to respond using US law as an example, then she couldn't have a leg to stand on, because as a fugitive, if this was in the United States,
was not a
are you trying to listen?
Excuse me. Whether you use it on fugitive is wrong. For example, the guy, this Australian guy that America was looking for, that spent almost 8 years in the UK.
Assange.
Why didn't America go and capture him and take him to
America wanted to do that, but they weren't successful. Just like the Morodiko case.
Yeah,
look, there's a case here.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Okay. If Nnamdi Kanu was in American soil or in Germany soil, Nigeria wouldn't have kidnapped him and took him back to Nigeria. Because Nnamdi Kanu was in Kenya, a sub-Saharan African country, a country uncivilized country. That's why they were able to do that.
But if he was wanted by the United States,
don't come here and tell somebody's emotional. Nobody's emotional than you. Nobody's simple like you. You are very simple.
Calm down. Everybody,
let me ask him a question.
What kind of, don't come here and speak like what? Everybody.
Please calm down. Everybody, calm down. You see,
can I say something?
Calm down, everybody. We're not the
one. Can I say something, please?
So let's just discuss, without having to raise our voice.
No, I'm not raising my voice. All right. I want to understand.
I was going to go Ike, but you say you have a question. Only question.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer, but I want him to explain to me whether it is right for a government to pick and choose which law, which judgment they should obey, and which one they shouldn't obey. Is it right for any government to pick and choose which judgment of their own court they want to obey and the one they don't want to obey?
Okay.
Hello?
At this point, I don't think he wants to answer the question, so let's move on.
No, I didn't know you were asking me a question because
I want to ask you a question because I'm not
okay.
here.
You ask the question. Is it okay if I answer?
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. Okay.
But I get it. I heard you. I'm listening to everything.
So the question I want to ask you is simple. Is it? You're a lawyer. Can you explain to me? Is it right?
I never said I was anything. Listen. I heard you. I already heard you. All right.
Okay. Okay. Then answer my question.
Well, okay. Yeah. So, first of all, that is your straw man, all right? But of course, we do know that there should be no two sets of justice for individuals. Everybody has to follow the same sets of rules, follow the same sets of law. The law has to be sacrosanct, it has to be singular, and you just have to abide by it, whether you're the government or you're the individual being prosecuted by the government.
Okay. So following that, is it right for government of Nigeria not to obey their own court decisions?
Sir, I just answered your question. What I don't understand.
Okay, you are saying it is not right.
Listen, this is what I'm going to say again.
For clarity, please.
Chris, this is what I'm going to say again. If you heard me say extraordinary rendition was proper.
I'm not talking about extraordinary rendition. I'm talking about judgment.
Let me land. You don't know where I'm going to go. Let me land, please. Please, and try not to interrupt me. Let's see eye to eye. And again, I'm going to go with the let's try to be logical. All right? If at any point in all my statements you heard me say extraordinary rendition was proper, please feel free to call me out, and you can put on any monetary reward you want for it, and I promise you I will acquiesce. I have never taken that position that extraordinary rendition was proper. In fact, I started off, of course, this is why I say people need to stop being emotional. I started off by condemning it, but I also gave you situations where it was admitted by the court or approved by the court. All right. For example, case in point, when the individual or the defendant is deemed a fugitive from justice. I referenced several cases. I think what any reasonable person should do when I say things like this, especially since it is recorded, is to maybe note down those cases and easily check case laws on them. Now you can easily see if I'm speaking gibberish or if I'm right. So this is not about.
Let's move on. You have made your point. Yes, Ike. Can we hear you?
What, me?
No. Oh, there's a lady here. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Ike, hold on. Let's hear the lady. She may have come with a different. And she probably be a lawyer. So let her tell us.
No, I'm not a lawyer. Okay. Honestly, Africa and America, like a lot of American people, when they talk, we African, we always shut up. We don't get into your affairs. Anything that concerns Africa, let Africa deal with it. Okay? Enough with this nonsense. African problem, African people gonna solve it. When it comes to your problem, we don't get involved. It's true. Two different
Is
continents.
there anybody that is not from Africa here?
Hold on.
This
Hold
guy,
on,
I don't know
hold
what
on.
is no. Because
East Africa, sorry,
can I
sorry.
please say something? Because I see that a
Please
lot.
go ahead.
Nigeria.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Let her talk. AY,
When it
please.
comes to Nigeria, let Nigerian people deal with it. It's Nigerian problem. Enough of this bullshit. We are sick of it. Enough. At the end of the day, my father, my mother, they are Nigeria. And we are going through this problem. Enough with this bullshit. We are sick and tired of it. When it comes about Nigeria, let Nigerian people deal with it. Enough. Because other people will be talking. Okay, Mr. KG, can I please say something? They always want
Yeah, go ahead.
us to shut up. Don't talk. Don't talk. Enough with this bullshit. We are sick and tired of it. That's what I have to say. Enough.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you
Welcome.
people don't like your country, I love my country because that's where my origins are from. I'm Yoruba. Tell Yoruba like ìlú yín, èmi like ìlú mi. Enough with this bullshit. We are sick and tired of it. No, for real. It's not funny no more. It's not.
Thank you.
And you guys cannot be shutting people all the time. Can I please say something? You guys cannot be shutting people up. Enough.
No, speak.
We are sick and tired of it. American problem belong to America. African problem belong to Africans. Enough. What the fuck is this? We are sick and tired.
Calm down, Daji.
It's not even funny no more. We have a country like we don't have a country. Enough.
Okay.
It's not funny.
Let me say something about
You can laugh all day. Your country belongs to you. Our own country belongs to us. Enough.
Please correct her now. Correct her.
Okay. All right. Hold on. If you guys,
it's not even funny. You guys cannot shut us. You cannot just tell us to shut up. We will never shut up. Stay in your lane and we stay in our lane. Enough with your bullshit. Enough.
Okay. Thank you.
It's
so
true.
much. Yeah. No, I believe what you said.
Everybody should stay in their lane.
Uzo is the only non-Africa here. Uzo is the only non-Africa.
No, a lot of people pretend to be African and they are not African. Black people are all over the world.
Okay.
Black people are all over the world.
Okay.
All over the world.
Okay.
We have black people there. And everybody should face their land and leave us the fucking alone. Enough with this bullshit.
Okay.
We're sick and tired of it.
Thank you.
No, for real. Enough. You guys, I don't know. If you don't like your fatherland, me, I love my fatherland. Omo Yobani mi, ile baba mi, ile baba temi. You guys, if you don't like your land, no, for real, enough. Ile baba ti temi, ile baba ti temi. Hey, call it someone anyhow. You cannot just throw us away anyhow. Enough.
The only thing is that you are talking about Yoruba, you're not talking about Nigeria.
Hold on, guys. The point she has made is well taken, and I want to let you know that the guy who speaks like an American is actually a Nigerian, just like you. I don't know if he's born here or was born there, but whatever it is, we don't really ask people for their identity here before they make their contribution. So if you can hear me, relax, man. If you can hear me, we don't ask people for their identity before they make their contribution. We just allow them to make their contribution. As long as they're not bringing, obscenity to our program, and we don't use vulgar language, that's okay. We welcome every shade of colors.
He's your brother. He's a fellow Nigerian. He's your brother.
Okay.
All right.
Because a lot of them lie too. They lie.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Me, I'm tired. I have to talk. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Uzo is the only non-Nigeria.
Honestly, I don't know what to say.
He borrowed that name.
Okay. Right, let's move on. And what she has said is quite true, and that is exactly what Masca have been canvassing here. Nigerian problem, African problem can only be solved by Africans. unfortunately, many powerful people have taken over the saddle of the bicycle. So we are not even moving forward, because if you hold the horns of the cow, how can you want him to move forward? It doesn't happen that way. Anyway, having said that, and I agree with 2 Niger, 1 brain cell, which he says that the extraordinary rendition is not a proper law. But however, every charter of law that is signed becomes binding on the country that signs it. An extraordinary rendition is a law signed in Nigeria. That means that it takes effect. And you keep saying this thing. There was a one super policeman who they used to call the Robocop, who was doing all the magical things in Nigeria. But he was caught, whether he was set up or not, I don't know the real story, but he was caught. Okay? And America wanted him to be extradited to America. And the Nigerian system didn't allow that. Okay? So if they didn't allow that, do you think that America didn't have the ability to come to Nigeria and take him? They could have.
No, but KJ, that would be a different
hold
case.
on, let us talk now. Let us talk. But they followed the laid down procedure. We cannot be priding our country for not people who are not obeying the simple rule that's been set. If Kenya, a smaller country, can in their high court rule that we offended their laws, okay, we came against the laws of Kenya by doing this. Why didn't you want to pride yourself and say, what you did is
a Kenyan ruling is not binding on Nigeria. It is outside Nigeria. One second. So wait, KJ, hold.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
A Kenyan ruling. Wait, let me just land.
What is he talking
Just
about?
a minute.
Okay,
Just a minute.
Yes.
What you have to something is talking about fugitive, all right? If somebody, for example, pass somebody in America, right? He ran back to Nigeria, all right? When America looking for him, all right? He broke the law. We America just fly their airplane, go to Nigeria, pick him up without consulting the Nigerian government and bring you back here to face government. Or are they going to like?
But Uzo, gentlemen, the guy has said that this extraordinary rendition is.
Wait, let me answer Masker. So Uzo.
No, I'm not going to allow you to take over the
He
program.
has said it's not okay. We are still arguing on it. He himself has said it's not okay.
No, I want to ask you. You're talking about fugitive.
Let's move on. No, let's move on.
KJ, they asked me a question. Let me answer.
No. You are
monopolizing the program. He said it's not, but he said it's okay for Nandekana, but he said it's not okay. You can't have it both ways.
All right.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
You said it. He said that he's a fugitive.
Mr. Ike,
a fugitive.
When did
you said that Nandekana is a fugitive?
If your brother will let me talk, and if you let me speak, I understand you guys want to shut me down, but if you let me speak, we can have.
Be fair.
Is it okay? We have a decent conversation. This is why I said.
Be fair.
All right, I'm not a judge. I can't be fair. I can only speak.
Don't be too cynical, my
I don't want to argue. Let's just have a decent conversation, and let's not.
Okay, okay, and please, it's enough. Let's move on. Uzo, you have asked a question. Mr. Ike, please speak.
They never answer my question. Start a question.
He doesn't want me to answer. They both ganging up on me.
I do not want the program to go back and forth with him and every person. No, other people are here. They didn't come to say grief.
He asks a simple. It's okay for me, but it's okay when they shout me down. But to answer a simple question,
you have spoken for over.
I haven't spoken. He asked me a question. I was quiet when the lady bashed me. I was quiet when Mazda Bar bashed me.
I said I don't want you to answer the question. It's okay. If it gets your turn, you can answer any question. Let's move on. All right.
Okay, move on. We'll get our turn. Answer the question. Yeah.
Ike. Yeah, Ike, go ahead.
There's been a lot. There's been argument from here and there and last and there. And the main things that we were supposed to be talking about, based on what Sister Omoye said about us coming back to make investment, I think I think is a very important topic to talk about, right? Uh, but there are so many quotation of laws here, which personally I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I don't want to speak about something that I really don't have idea about, right? So, but at the end of the day, I think that my point I'm trying to make is that um, every honest and dedicated Nigerian living outside Nigeria will want to make investment in Nigeria, will want to go back to Nigeria someday. But one of the biggest problem is the climate, the environment. There are so many impediments for anybody who has lived in the West to just go back and begin to put his money in Nigeria, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you are discouraging anybody. Uh, I just gave you an example now. AY went to Nigeria and he went to Abuja and he was
I
with
invest.
and he went with Masca, right? That is different. Why he's going away with when he was as he visited Masca. I want to assure you that he feel more safe in Nigeria because he was with Masca. Because Masca can tell him somewhere where and where to visit in Abuja. That's the point I'm trying to make. If I have to visit anybody in Nigeria, for example, as he visited Masca, I'll be confident to go out with that person because he knows where we can say, hey, Ike, you can't go here. Ike, this is where we can go. That's the point I'm trying to make. But if, for example, you don't have anybody, for example, you don't have anybody you got to visit to take you where you want to go, for example, you know what I'm trying to talk about. For example, the money that you have to go and hire, for example, for police protection or mobile policemen to follow you about, that money, for example, if you're going to spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks in Nigeria, that money, if you calculate it, there are so many widows in your village that you can go back to your village, share that money to those widows. You're going to receive more blessings than trying to because you want to go to Nigeria you want to go to flex in Nigeria, you want to visit Nigeria. I don't know if you're trying to get what my point, where I'm driving my point. Because for me personally, I prefer that money, if I give it to 1 or 2 widows in my village, it is more beneficial for me. I've given life to a lot of people, right? It shouldn't be for me to go and in my country, I go in my country and I go and hire security to follow me about. I wouldn't even have my peace. I wouldn't even have time to converse with people. So this is my point. It's not about, oh, we don't want to invest in Nigeria. No, everybody would love to invest in his country, but sometimes we say that, we pray that Nigeria never happened to you. And there is a lot of us that Nigeria has happened to in one way or the other. So if you are trying to do it, you have to really be very careful in trying to plan what you want to do. That's my point. I think is a very good conversation that some of us who are living here we should have. But I don't think it should be something that somebody should be say, okay, you don't just wake up one morning and say you're going to Nigeria to invest. I don't think it works like that. There are so many things you have to put in place. There are so many informations that you need to have. And most of the time, you need to be on the ground to be able to be sure what they are giving you is the fact. There are so many things that happen in Nigeria. Many things happen in Nigeria. You go today, tomorrow they tell you this is not from this office. You got this paper, and you start to swear. I swear to God, this is the country we have. So, my brother and sisters, I'm not against people who have the motion, the idea or the feeling to go to invest in Nigeria. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to be careful, and we have to also know that our prayer for us is that Nigeria becomes a better country where everybody will be free to go home to visit his family, visit his friend, make an investment, and you can retire. When you retire, like Omoye was saying, somebody he knew, he stays 6 months in Nigeria and 3 months in the West, because he has retired, because he already has some investment in Nigeria. I doff my cap for the person she's talking about. It's not a lot of people that are successful. Nigeria has happened to me. I know why I'm so angry about when people talk about go back to Nigeria to make investment in Nigeria. So But I doff my car for the young man he's talking about. We have seen so many Nigerians who went to Nigeria to invest the money. They lost their life. You know, we have seen so many American soldiers who went home to see their family. He never went back to America. You know, there are so many things we have seen. So it's a very good point, but all of us, we should also chew the conversation, right? And Maska, we have Maska who has been in our midst for a very long time, and I think that because of his area of work and the circle he has found himself all his life, he can be an avenue for you to give you an information of what really, if you want to do something, you know, because Maska has become part of us. So I think people should be able to trust him to, you know, give them proper and real information if there is something you want to do. And this is my point. This is the point I'm trying to make. It's not just for somebody to just pack your bag. Okay, let me go and invest my $500,000 in Nigeria, my brother. If Nigeria never happened to you, my brother, you go know if you go know something, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make, and I think it's a very vital point for Sister Omoye to bring the idea that he brought. But that trust she's talking about, how many people trust each other? That's the point. Like we are talking about now. You say I say, okay, AY, Christian, and KJ, and myself, let us team up and do business. If anybody from your family will hear that, he say, what are you trying to do? Do you know the person you are trying to make it? Before you know, so many stories will come in. So we have so many things that is of an impediment in doing certain things together, right?
Okay.
So I think that we should give it a real thought.
Thank you for raising that up. And I want to ask Maska specifically. I hear there's a government agency they've set up now for people who want to buy houses. The agency needs to build houses and sell to Nigerians, and they're advertising that all around. And someone sent me a document that said, but I don't know anything about it. So is it really true that there's a government agency now that is in charge of building houses and selling them off to citizens?
My answer, KJ, I won't even allow you to finish. Okay? Shebi is the same government that we all come here to criticize. How come? Are you suggesting that I will give any government agency a pass mark?
Okay, no,
no, certainly I will not, because the fact of the matter, without missing my words, without water inside my mouth, the corruption level in our environment is just too high. Nothing is going to work as planned. So even if they say, I don't know, I don't normally follow. I'm here in Nigeria, but I don't follow all this government thing. Because living in Nigeria is living in spite of your government. You have to defy the odds. The government tends to complicate your life. I've learned to structure my life away from government. Anywhere government is putting roadblock, I find another way. AY came to my house. Even as I speak to you now, I'm not using electricity. I'm using solar. I told AY I'm planning to put a water tank in my house because now the water level is epileptic. So I wouldn't suggest anybody to go to any government agency. I will not. If you have your choice.
Thank you so much. All right, yes. AY, you came in while the heat was on.
But sorry, KJ, now that you allow, let me just quickly talk because tomorrow morning I have a very important meeting. I just want to take 2 minutes to wrap up.
Okay, you can have 3.
I thank Mr. Ike for his elderly response. Yes, but I just really want to harp back on that point. It's not just too much to do with investment. It doesn't have to be. I think for me, the message that I got from the lady, and this is exactly what we're doing, because it's diaspora people now that are looking back inward. We're just talking now, but I think it's exactly the same thing. Some people should come and invest. Some people should just take the issue of Nigeria and talk. Some people should come back and probably contest. Some people should come back and set up a university. I know that there was a time we spoke about medical. Forefathers is not here. I would suggest forefathers should come and build a medical city in Nigeria. So my summary is that, no, it's not funny. Sincerely speaking. My summary is that I think the point the lady is making, and it's not her point really, the credit should go to forefathers. I know, Mr. Rudolph, because there was a question of how did China do it? How did India do it? And his response was that, look, a lot of these people went out, did what they have to do, came back and fixed their house. I'm thinking that that is a good leave Nigeria and Africa by extension should take. And more so for Nigeria, because there's a lot of solid Nigerians outside. If we can organize ourselves and coordinate it, I think it will be a very big plus for the country. Good night, everybody, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Maska. I have a good night. Thank you for coming, and your contribution is very, very, very valuable. Okay.
But Chris is raising here. I'm sure Chris wants to ask. Chris,
you have a question for him because I have been waiting for a while.
No, well, it's not really a question, but you see, the thing is, like I was trying to take, because after the first statement I made, I haven't spoken since then. So, but what I was trying to say, because we are talking about investment. So, the reason why I'm trying to bring about this is because one of the biggest challenge you have in investment is the business environment. Top of that business environment is the legal system. So the reason why, I asked one Niger question, it's not about rendition. It is about the government obeying the laws they made, obeying court judgments. Now, in a system where the government doesn't obey the court judgments, you will find that even if you as a citizen gets into Nigeria to invest and run into problem with the government, you are at the short end of the stick. Landmark, for instance, was bulldozed, his business was bulldozed, even though because they want to construct a road. Now, with the government today, we know that his business that was destroyed, they are not even putting that road on that particular place, but he has lost out. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the justice system is simply because it plays very important role in development. I have said it before. Any developed country is associated with very strong legal system. And most underdeveloped countries are associated with weak legal justice system.
Getting the point. The point is nobody is telling you that Nigeria is a safe haven. People are saying
I'm coming. What I'm trying to say is simple. While some of us are taking the risks, okay, to come and invest in Nigeria, but the reason why we are talking about the government of Nigeria and why it is a problem is simply because just the diaspora investment, not only it's at jeopardy, but the foreign direct investment will not come. So it will have a limited development when it comes to, developing Nigeria. So that's why Nigeria is where it is at the moment.
But so this is the point I'm making, Chris. You are now turning the whole thing into an egg or the chicken argument.
You say?
It's not that Nigeria is a safe haven, so come and invest. No, the whole even idea is that come and invest in Nigeria so that you can make Nigeria better for other people that are not Nigerians. Because if anybody is to do it, it has to be you Nigerians. Not because...
And I agree with you. I agree with you. The only thing I'm just saying is simple. The reason why I'm saying this is simple. you know, when it comes to individual and the government is not obeying the court judgments.
Agreed. That is all great.
Yeah, that becomes a big problem.
Just
you know,
like
the reason, and I want the reason why I asked this one Nigeria you know, I asked him the question is because those who are, you know, I don't like commenting on Nnamdi Kanu's case because I know this case very well, the history. So if the government actually obeys its law, there would not have been anything about fugitive. Because
Chris,
when he was arrested,
we are talking about investment. Now you are going back to
no. Listen, I want to educate people here so that they understand. Because it's not just about investment. When he was arrested in 2015, he was taken to a judge, and that first judge that his case was taken discharged him and acquitted him. The government didn't obey that. They took it to a different court. That judge there, the second judge, said to them, go and obey the first judgment, that they should not bring this case again to his court. Before they went to this third one, the one of this lady, the lady that was handling the case, you know, Justice. Yeah, in whatever, Netanyahu, no, not Nyako. Okay. Yeah, before they went to Nyako. So, in other words, if they had been obeying their court judgments, there would not have been a case of fugitive and a case of rendition. Okay, so that is where the problem lies. And so when people are talking about the case today, they tend to think it started from 2021. It didn't start from 2021. The case started from 2025.
All right.
2015. So that's why I want to educate them so that they will understand the injustice here.
Thank you, Chris. Chris.
Okay. So I also want to say good night to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night too. Yes, Okpara, you were supposed to have gone. You're still around. Okay,
I just want to, because I just want to say about investment in Nigeria. Honestly, if you have not done that, go and try and see. It's the best. The best thing is try and see. The best experience is when you have tried and you see, and then you come back. You are telling us to go. You know, you are telling somebody to invest in Nigeria. Why those people who are your rulers are packing the money they're supposed to invest in Nigeria? They are packing it out of the country. They are using it to buy.
Mazi. What you are now saying is that we should abandon the place for this.
No. Not like this. Not like this. Because no, we are saying the same thing. It is very good. I don't want to come and tell you what, you know. If I start telling you my own story, you will pity me. What I'm trying to tell you is that all of us. So my brother, I am not Maska, let me finish.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's move to AY. AY, I've been here patiently.
I've not said anything in that.
But you are there, Diala Kaberi. Can I, Haba?
Okay. No, what I'm trying to is just laughable when somebody is telling you to why the people who are ruling you are taking the money out of buying houses in Florida, in Maryland, and this and that, and you are selling to, you know, isn't it ironical? It's very ironical.
Yes, yeah, AY has
good night from here.
Thank you so much.
These guys, they don't want me to speak. Oh. Thank you.
Sorry, it's taking a while, but you have the floor now.
Okay. So is the Nigeria thing, right? I actually was really enjoying what Mr. Ike was saying earlier, right? I don't think Nigeria is that bad as people actually try to make it look, right?
Okay,
We
Ewa,
got,
you just came back. You just came back from Nigeria, right?
yeah, we
And you
got
were
to.
in Masca's house, right? And Masca is
No,
using electricity,
no,
he's using solar, he's using
I
solar.
only
There's
visited
no water. He
Moscow.
wants to put up a tank for him to be
Hold
able
on
to have
now.
water.
That is where I'm coming.
His road
Let
is
me
obviously bad. And you're saying
wait
Nigeria is not
now.
that bad.
Let me
Wow.
hold on. At least give me some minutes now. People must share their view.
All right. Okay, go
The
ahead.
thing is, to be honest, even before I made this trip,
So
right, I got tired of even. In fact, it's not even interesting again. If I hear Nigeria, like nothing interests me, right? I don't even want to go there. But what Masca is saying is the truth, right? Just that if you want to live there, you must be ready to be your whole government. This is the honest truth. So basically, like what Masca, a lot of people now in the big cities, they all have solar. Their houses, Masca does not even use electricity, like power from what's it called, from the NEPA, the PACN. It does not use it at all. There are a lot of people like that. So you have to just be your whole government, have your whole water, have your whole electricity. That is where it got really like very funny. So the poor people, they see suffer, right? So the area where how they classify the electricity, band A, band B, band A, they even have light, actually, matter of fact, to a large extent. But even the cost of the electricity is so high that Nigerians, I don't think they can even afford it, except you are super rich. I think that was how they targeted the rich people areas. You know, those areas where it's so funny that a country that the way you have the rich, super rich, you have the poor. So I think the middle class is not even there. So it's either you have the money or you have nothing. It's not that one cannot still invest in a year, but you have to be very, very strategic. Like me, I will advise my friend, for example, don't take all your money from abroad and you want to go apply it in Nigeria. No. Like me, if I want to invest in Nigeria, I cannot dip into my saving and invest in Nigeria. It has to be maybe you have some extra money, you just take it. That will not cost you nothing. Don't go and put your money in Nigeria. Especially like we are still from there, right? Let's say you want to have a house somewhere in Nigeria, you will see do that. That's not really, I don't see it as investment. I see like, let's say I want to have a property in Nigeria. If you want to think of it as investment, you will not do it. If you want to think of it like, okay, let's say you want to build a house in your village. Let me just build this in my village. So you are not going to look at it as investment, but investment. If you ever want to do it, you have to really like do a lot of study. Ask people that are into that business. The system is funny. You have to talk to the people on ground for you to understand. And one thing I find in Nigeria that has not changed, it is an oppressive society, to be honest. Nigeria is an oppressive society. You live, if you don't have money in Nigeria, it's still the same. It's like you people will not even respect you, even gate man will not respect you. So it's a funny system. I don't think it will ever change. I was complaining of the youth roaming the street. God, that one I look at the whole situation. I said, it's only God that is saving this country because it's a recipe for disaster. Like, you see a lot of people, they don't have anything they are doing. They just walking around even at night. This is a big security threat, you know. I don't think the government are really doing much. If you want to wait for them, I don't think you're gonna go anywhere. But in terms of the cost of living, I would say like in Lagos, in Abuja, to be honest, with $1,000, you will still live fine in Nigeria. But the question, we are talking of $1,000 because probably we live in abroad. But how many in Nigeria have $1,000 income in a month? What's the percentage? It's very few, right? But I know with $1,000 you will live well in Nigeria. But I'm tired of the politicians. I don't think they are thinking about this country. I saw them play Soludo video, the fake hospital. They are all the same. I don't. When I see Nigerian politician, me, I don't trust that they want. I don't know what needs to happen, but something needs to happen for us to have a different direction completely. But for now,
my question is you were talking about if you have $1,000, you can live fine in Nigeria. And
yeah,
also you answered the question yourself. How many Nigerians have that $1,000?
yeah.
Because for example, you now, if you go to Nigeria now with 1,000 naira for $1,000 for example, if you change it in a naira, you're gonna stay comfortable for some few days.
Oh yeah.
But provided you are very far away from your family members or from your friends, because as long as they know that AY is around, money must drop. So
money must drop.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, absolutely.
If you are with that 1,000 naira in the hotel where you are or in an apartment, you probably have to stay with. Probably you have to enjoy yourself with 2 people. But by the moment that you travel to your village or you go to your family where they know that AY is around, you will discover that your $1,000 is not going to go anywhere, because like you are saying, the oppressors in Nigeria, if you don't have one, it's like you don't belong to Nigeria. So when those faces come to you, you are not going to tell them to go away, because you can see their faces that they need help. So at the end of the day, you find out that it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. Because for you who had that $1,000, for example, the people back home think that AY, you just walk on the street and you get that $1,000.
Exactly.
75% of them don't know what you are going through to get that $1,000. Because the last thing they will tell you, after all, you have crossed the bridge and you want the bridge to break. This is their language. But they don't know that you walk in the rain, you walk in the sun, you walk in the summer, you walk in the winter, you walk in every time. Sometimes you don't even have vacation. Sometimes you don't have even free day. The day that you have your free day, you go somewhere to work. The day that you're supposed to stay on Sunday, on your house on Sunday, you go to somewhere to work in order to make sure not only that you are fighting for your family, but for the people back home. So it's not easy for anybody. It's not easy for anybody.
And one other thing the government are failing to realize is, if we actually fix the country, right, you give confidence to Nigerians in diaspora, they will bring in money to do investment. They will come and buy more houses. In fact, some people that are working remotely can even come, live there, work remotely, because in that way, they are pouring money in the economy. So that's what the government doesn't understand. Even it's not sufficient to say, come back home. If you make the environment conducive for people to return back home, people will do. For example, I think the biggest one is that insecurity in Nigeria. They have to do something. They have to do something, because things that happen around, even in Abuja, that is FCT. Look at one of the lady that worked with Arise TV that died. He died in the heart of Abuja. Those incidents, they should not happen, from robbery. This kind of stuff should not happen. But you see, they are happening in Federal Capital Territory. Then what about the remote areas? Just think of what happened. So they need to work. I don't know, the government, I don't know who can talk to them. They need to wake up. They need to do something, help the people, because Nigerian population is actually blowing up. This is what we are not actually discussing. We are not paying attention to. The population is blowing up. You have more challenges because there is no planning. The infrastructure, they are not there. They are overused, the few we have. Look at our roads are so bad because of the number of cars plying those roads. It's a lot. Our train system is not really solid. That's where the truck will move goods from north to south. All this we are not thinking. That is why we are here, to be honest. We are not planning. We are not thinking. Here, if they want to build roads, for example, in America, they will have to study the number of cars that will pass that road in the next 10 years per second. That's how they will know, okay, this is what we are expecting. They know the number of cars passing a particular road that will pass there. So they will figure it out. So we are not doing all that. So it's very frustrating. You see, especially the roads. I passed through some express in Nigeria. I'm like, is this an express road? Like so bad, not even pothole, dead. So even when people were telling me even the Minister of Work is working, to be honest, I don't know where he's working. I didn't see anything that impressed me with his work, but we are here. We'll still be watching. It's still our country. Hopefully, things get better. That change will come. I don't know when, but I'm still hopeful.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. At least you exhausted all your wanted to say. We left you in peace. Mr. Oti, you heard what AY have said. I don't know. One of the reasons or one of the decision, what you look at before going to a nation is how safe that place is, and if you put an investment, whether your money can return. In other words, not being returning immediately, but I've forgotten the term they call it in the bank now, but able to scope your money out of the country if you put it in. You look at all that option before you go and make a huge investment. What AY is saying now, does it look like Nigeria is a place where people can invest and be able to get away with it? And also, since I speak the truth is still with us, I also want to ask him, and then you can also touch on that because you're a lawyer. So, you're a lawyer. So, we are now at the right place. We have been tuned our mouths here concerning, extraordinary rendition. But now, the case of Mazin Nandekano's lawyer, a lawyer Ejimako, he's been in detention. A detention for, it was, government first said it was incitement. But right now they are saying he protested in a restricted area. But when they looked at all the places they went to, they were not even close to where the restricted area were marked out. But still, he will not be granted bail. Rather, what they did was they took him from the known destination to unknown destination where they presented him before a judge without any legal representation. What do you say as a person of this noble profession? Before we used to say lawyers are the noble people, but now it's beginning to look like if lawyers were like Nike, I think it has gone to the dogs. Won't you say that?
Excuse me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I hope we are having a good Sunday.
Hmm.
Well, first of all, as even a lay person can comment on the state of the state of the law in Nigeria. You don't have to be a lawyer or an expert in law to understand that it's gone to the dogs. Right. So I think you asked me. I think number of questions. I'm not hearing you. You asked me a number of questions.
Yeah, the first of all,
About
the
Hmm?
extraordinary rendition. What is the position of Nigerian law on that? Secondly, the fact that they are charging Mazin Namdekano's lawyer and his brother and Shore a
Hmm.
bailable offense, but they denied them bail and they kept them there now for today will make it the third day they are going to be sleeping under detention. So,
Okay.
what is your view on that?
Well, the issue of extraordinary rendition is not just a matter of domestic law. It's an international law, a norm, human rights law. Um, I mean, if somebody is accused of an offense and is out of the jurisdiction, there's a letdown process for a government to seek to bring that person back to its jurisdiction so that the person can be prosecuted. You don't go and grab the person. I mean, that's is illegal. Not only is against the domestic law of of the country that wants to try the fugitive, quote unquote, but also the law of the country, the place where the person is currently staying, as well as international law to which most countries subscribes to. So I think there's no doubt about that, about the legal position. And now about the case, the situation of Ejimako, and so what can one say? I mean, is as I said, one doesn't need to be a lawyer to understand that what is going on in Nigeria is, I mean, the country is, is lawless. That is a simple way of putting it. So I mean, we know what happened to Delhi. We're talking about these are kind of if like prominent individuals, and the government is treating them that way. So without any regard to public opinion, to international opinion. So that is well, somebody has mentioned, referred to selective justice. That can be no justice. Okay, if you want to, if you hold yourself out as a country that is governed by the rule of law, that you have to be consistent. Maintain a clear standard. It's not treating people under the same circumstances differently. So justice must be seen to be done. So that is the principle. This is a Nigerian, what's happening here, what the Nigeria pays all the test. So it's not open to debate. I don't know why anybody should be arguing it. You see, our court system, I mean, those who pass through the system, retired Supreme Court justices and Court of Appeal justices have, talked about it. So who are you, or who are you and I, that are looking into the system from the outside? Who are we to begin to kind of defend it? This is a nonsense. When it comes to investment, well, yes, and everybody investing his or her money. Well, yes, you don't want to lose your money.
No,
For
I
one
was
thing.
just reading
Okay,
it.
even if you don't make profit, you
I
don't
was
want to lose
just
your money. You
reading.
don't want to lose your capital. If you make profit, okay, well and good. So, but as somebody, because it's not just a matter of you want to make investment. Uh, Somehow that sense of if like patriotism, this is my country, you want its development, you want to contribute to it. That also should be a very a driving force. It's not just yes, you make profit, but I think it can be taken for granted that uh, you know the investor, diasporan investor, somebody of Nigerian descent, somebody who has Nigeria as his first native land. um the patience, your capital has to be a patient one. You don't want to, I would mean, so after you have people back home, so you have to do your due diligence, and then as I said, the first thing is you try not to lose your money. Okay, it is not yeah, if you make profit, well and good. Also the Japada thing, relocation, it should be a serious prospect for, well, I wouldn't say for everybody, but for a lot of people. For me, I tell you right, it's not negotiable. It's just a matter of time, because by the time if you've lived so long in Europe, and then getting to my age, I wonder what your body will be telling you. What's what's going on in your head. You want to live here in a foreign land, other people's country. What are you doing? I mean, you see, this life is just one opportunity. We're gonna die one. It doesn't. You have to die somehow, someday. The question really is, when you're dying, you have to kind of. I want to be, at that point. Okay, so look, I've done my best with no kind of regrets, and that so that you're in a foreign land, and it doesn't matter what contribution you make, in a foreign land. It can't equate. It can't amount to what you owe to your native land. So that's to me the understanding of it. So it's, okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that clarity. At least we know that you are part of those that wear funny gowns. So you can speak with much authority. But we have our brother here, who had just come in. I'm sure he has something
Wow.
very.
At what point are you going to let me speak, sir? I know you don't want to hear my point of view, but you can't keep letting everybody make their position. That's very unfair. People are not stupid. They're seeing you. Everybody makes the position. They bash me. They make their proposition. You ask a question. You hear what you want to hear, but when I have to retort, you're probably hoping I lose my mind. I'm not going to do that. You had everybody bashing me without me being able to speak. You granted OT, oh, you're part of a legal luminary, funny gown, this, that. Let him speak. And then, welcome, John Hava. Nice to see you. Then the next person comes, you hug them and give them a kiss too. Is it okay if I retort? At what point? Or do I just keep getting bashed over the head with a stick?
Okay, thank you so much for
Sorry,
your contribution. We go on to
uh,
hold on. No, we're not going to go there. I'll move on to Jonaba. Jonaba, make your input. Thank you so much.
OT, I'm cool with you. I'm just saying.
KJ, it's nice to be with you this beautiful evening, my brother Ike. Speak the truth and AY and OT. It's nice to spending a little time with you guys this
good to see you.
evening. Yes, sir. I see my brother KJ in Sunday service. When you go to Sunday, you are more closer to God than devil. So, so, so I see, come on, what do you want me to talk on? I know they say reaction to.
Yeah, you have many ways. We just put on the table right now the alleged, or rather, the refusal of granting bail to a well-recognized gentleman in Nigeria because they accused the crime is that they were demonstrating in a restricted area. So they were taken to court and they were not granted bail. But eventually, when they got bail, Omoye was rearrested because they said he called the IG of police useless. And Nnamdi Kanu's brother and lawyer were taken to a different location where they didn't have access to a lawyer, but they were taken before a magistrate where they were also remanded. And eventually he had, because being an older man, he had a problem. I think they say it's a breathing problem or something like that, and collapsed and is right now in the hospital somewhere in the area. So the question now be, as we have been looking at law and all that, if you want to go and invest in a country where they are looking for investment, and you are not, the laws are bent to suit whoever is in charge, will you want to go to still do business in that country?
Thank you, KJ. You see, I think OT is a lawyer. I don't know. I think so. I don't know whether it's defensive attorney or criminal, whatever they do. Prosecutor, real estate lawyer. I don't know. so he knows better that. Speaking into the law aspect of Nigerian stuff, um, it's about interest. And investing in Nigeria could have been where do you want to invest? What kind of investment are you talking about? Are you talking about open a business or investment in terms of having a structure like a house and all of that? So uh, you can, as a Nigerian, I think most of us we invested in Nigeria in one way or the other. Whether we train the young ones in school, support the uh, whatever the people you have there. But uh, the the system, the injustice in the system, except you are among the 1%, is not really uh, good for ordinary citizens. And we pray that people will continue to mobilize themselves until somehow they overcome the system. But what we have now, um, I don't think anything is changing anytime soon. It depends on who come to power and what era the people come, because I think Nigeria is to uh, oppress you uh, and take life out of you at a point, and everybody will act like nothing is happening. But the civil society have to continue to push it, to push, push until they have a breakthrough somehow. But apart from that, not me. Someone else. So we all can say what is going on. Don't think it's fair to the image of the country, and it tells other people that look the optics is not good for Nigeria to see that at this age and era that they're still being barbaric to their citizens. And that's how we are treated around the world, because the world will look at us. What do you have to say? Whatever you are, your country is not representing you well. So he tell on us around the world when we go, because of their behavior back home. And people pay attention to all those things. The power that being pay attention to see what have changed. The people are able to overcome. The justice system, is it working fair? So all those things is not good for our image as a people. When camera is rolling, commissioner of police or we come and tell things completely does not represent their value. How can somebody be free from the police? From police say you and the court say, okay, we granted you bail, and then they turn around and arrested him. I mean, the world is watching for whatever the reason may be. We understand whatever in underground going on, but you don't want to put your country in that image, because other citizens around the world will not be respected. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janaba. I think it's very clear that nobody is in an island any longer. What is happening to Lagos can be viewed around the world in just a question of seconds. I speak the truth. Now you have your turn before we come to Jefferson.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. So, obviously, I don't know how to carry on this conversation. Maybe I want to ask you a quick series of yes or no questions so we can just kick it off and have a discussion, right? Or should I just, because I don't want it to be rowdy or rambunctious. All right, so let me, okay. I guess I just say a statement because I don't want emotions to flare. So I just want to, you would agree that laws are not blanket all around the world. Even within the same jurisdiction, even within a state or a region or even a locality, the laws can actually vary. Take an example in the United States, county laws might vary even if the distances are very closely aligned, right? So I say all that to say, you saying, well, the basically country laws are against extraordinary rendition, international law is against it. We could grant that to the extent that we understand that international laws are not sacrosanct or binding amongst member nations. They're not. So, in as much as they are laid down principles that the world governing bodies hope and expect that countries follow, they are not binding, meaning Kenya, for example, cannot make a ruling on something that happened within their borders and expect the Nigerian authorities to follow or abide by that ruling. I would hope that we all agree on that, and I made myself clear. If not to you personally, because I think I made myself clear, but for anybody, I would gladly explain or try to bring it down to layman's terms. Now, that being said, the argument here, and which I have come over and over reiterated, and I don't know if you call it OT, is not that extraordinary rendition on the face of it is fair or logical. On the face of it, you do not expect to bring a man before a court by kidnapping them or torturing them. This has happened, but this is not the case, and this is not what we're arguing at this point. Before I move on, you will also agree, OT, that there are caveats in the law, which means the law can say it is, for example, in the United States, it is illegal to violate a man's Fourth Amendment right, which, if you don't know, I know you're in London, the man's expectation for unreasonable search and seizures. You don't want the government to violate that right. But there are circumstances where it is all right to bypass your rights under the Fourth Amendment, which would mean there were exigent circumstances present. For example, a guy is selling drugs in presence of the police. He doesn't have to go get a warrant. Those are exigent circumstances before the evidence is destroyed to act fast and detain the person that's seen violating the law. Now, if we agree that there are caveats to the law, and which I think this is the part everybody else is not understanding and where their emotions are getting involved. We have agreed that under international law, extraordinary rendition is abhorred. Everybody agrees across the board on that. We also agree that in most jurisdictions across the world, extraordinary renditions are frowned upon. But now here comes the caveat. What do jurisdictions, say for example, Nigeria's, and say for example, the United States, which is what brought this whole brouhaha, because KJ asked Omoye a question, called her a lawyer, she didn't deny it, and he asked her a legal question. So when she answered, I assumed she had to have been answering either from a Nigerian standpoint, legal point of view, or an American one. Now, if we are to agree that there are caveats to the law, extraordinary rendition is bad. But what does it say when the defendant brought before the court is a fugitive from justice? In the same vein, you can also say, what does it say? And this is a different point on a fugitive's rights under the Speedy Trial Act, knowing that the proceeding was already going on before he fled jurisdiction and absconded from justice. This is where I think the rest are not getting it and where their emotions are flaring up. So if we're to say,
okay, I give you
Sorry,
enough time.
if you carry on like this, I don't know how many.
Yeah, because I
30 minutes. You've
right. But I just wanted to reiterate it.
Please, can I ask you a simple question, please? My brother, Bren said, can I ask you a simple question?
Yes, sir.
In this perspective we are talking about, who is the fugitive?
Who do you think is the fugitive?
No, I'm asking a question. I'm
asking. I'm throwing it back at you. Who do you?
Because I don't know. Because I've been hearing fugitive. Since it is all about fugitive. So who is the fugitive? So that we know how we are going. Because like I did admit here that I'm not a lawyer. I don't know much about these legal terms. But now,
right,
we have repeated the sentence of fugitive more than several times. So I want to know, who is the fugitive? Are you talking generally what the law says about fugitives, or there is?
I was talking generally what the law says about fugitives, but in response to, in the context of what we are arguing or discussing about to the Nigerian case, which is Nigeria versus Nnamdi Kanu.
I speak the truth.
Okay, I think we can move on.
You didn't answer that question. Which means now we are talking about Nigerian context. Is Nnamdi Kanu a fugitive?
Sir,
what do you think?
Sorry, I speak the truth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
now
at least none of us have a.
If you are making the case that a fugitive from justice can be kidnapped and extraordinarily renditioned, I don't think I will agree with you. So once that fugitive has been caught, arrested, okay, so and then the fugitive is now in the hands of the authorities, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, in Kenya, we have the Kenyan authorities there. So then what happens? Then you have to start the extradition proceedings. That's what should happen.
No, but in this case, an extraordinary proceeding.
Fugitive.
Okay, hold on. And we understand that, and we understand that an extraordinary. I understand that, and I think he understands who I am too. So we understand that at this point, can you stop cutting me off? It's okay. We can have a discussion. So, Oti, in this instance,
it is. Hold on. I'm at least I'm still running the program. You are not. Okay. This is the same reason why Omoye didn't want to get into this argument. At least this man has a degree, at least in law. Let us listen to him now. If he's saying that if you don't agree, it's okay. But don't.
And you think I didn't graduate 6th grade or what?
Let us hear him out the way we heard you. Let us also hear his.
He mentioned something which I'm trying to clarify.
We waited for you for over 5 minutes. We are explaining. Let us hear from him. Go ahead, Mr. Oti.
Well, I'm actually, it's a simple point. I said, if he's talking about fugitive, let's say, for argument's sake, Nnamdi Kanu, when he was caught in Kenya by the Kenyan authorities or Nigerian authorities, they didn't have to, force him back to Nigeria. Okay, if he's a law abiding, if they, if they were doing something lawful, legal, they should start proceedings. Okay, in Kenya, and of course, you have a right to defend himself. In other words, against the effort of the Nigerian government to bring him back to Nigeria lawfully. Okay,
The
and
bottom line right
not,
now.
sorry.
The
What? Yes,
Can
you
you
disagree with that? So why couldn't they start extradition proceeding?
No, no, no.
Under normal circumstances, they should.
No. Let him speak, please. Let him speak.
So
he asked me a question.
No, let him speak. He'll finish. And
he asked me a question.
We'll go back to you. You can't determine when he wants to speak. Please, let him speak. Go ahead,
anyway, it's just ask me a question, okay? So, so I was saying that.
Okay, you want him to answer the question? Okay. Please.
Yes. So, and of course, I mean,
it's a question. Long. Of course, he wants me to answer it.
Okay. Answer the question.
Well, your feelings are really going to get hurt tonight. Listen, LT, the bottom line we're discussing now is not woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right. The bottom line right now is that an extraordinary rendition has taken place.
Okay.
Under normal circumstances, an extraordinary rendition should not take place, which means the process of an extradition treaty extradition should have taken place. It didn't happen. Now, what we have to decide is if the extraordinary rendition is proper and legal under the law. What your feelings tell you doesn't matter. What Nigerian law, which the Nigerian Supreme Court has already settled that, which the U.S. has case precedent, and the U.S. Supreme Court has also settled that. I've mentioned various case laws on here. In all the years, in over 100 years, the only case law in the United States that has gone against the remaining rulers of the jurisdiction is U.S. versus Toscanini. U.S. versus Walters agrees that extraordinary rendition, especially if the defendant is an absconder from justice, it does not matter what claims he has. He cannot seek redress and say, well, my rights were violated. The district does not have jurisdiction over my person.
Okay,
it doesn't.
All right. I need to stop you. You know why? You guys rushed through these things. You didn't follow these proceedings right from the beginning. The first court of instance said that his right was violated and discharged and acquitted him. The second judge said, when he was taken back, said to them, go and obey the first judgment. The third place they went to, the appeal court.
Okay, that's not true.
Which is where I'm going to. The appeal court for which that case was taken, discharged and acquitted him. Okay? And said there's no court that can try him based on what they brought.
That's not true.
Hold on now. You know you're always the truth person, but let me say. Now, what was reigning then in Nigeria was you cannot put nothing on something. That is a digger term. You can't put nothing on something.
Katie, stop pretending like you know the law. Like it's like stop it. Oh, okay. That is not true.
I don't know the law, but you know the law, right?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Can we hear from a practicing lawyer, which is OT here? At least here you are not admitted that you're a lawyer. We asked you earlier, are you a lawyer? You said
I graduated second grade.
If you graduate from a second grade, it doesn't make you a lawyer. I studied
law. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I'm illiterate. That's what I'm saying.
No, we are all literate.
No, I'm saying I'm illiterate. No, I'm saying I'm illiterate.
You're looking for a practicing lawyer. It's different to be an attorney.
No. I said I'm illiterate. I didn't go to school at all.
Let us hear from a practicing lawyer.
I said I'm illiterate.
One question to make this interesting. I know Jefferson has been waiting and will be having something to say, but I have one question, my host, KJ. I think this also go to the to when the world watch, when we the Nigerian have conversations on issues, and it's also tell on our understanding or our pretext or our side, which is part of life. Everybody is entitled to take a side the way they want to. But and I respect the OT about when we, sometimes words has meaning, and when it associated to us or somebody we like, we don't want it that way, or it's heavy for us to acknowledge it. Just like when when I think when I speak the truth, to use the word fugitive, I believe he was referring to Nandi fleeing the country after his, I think the law enforcement came there and he believed his life was in danger and he left the country. And that time he was under bail from the system, so from the judiciary system. So I think that's when the word fugitive that this guy is referring to. But in any case, I think I speak the truth. Have had it from OT that let's say that is it is still entitled to the rule of law. I think that is the simple thing. Two people cannot be wrong. The judiciary system still have to charge him to court to say, okay, this is what you do and this is the consequences of your thing. I think that's what OT is trying to, my understanding actually of what OT is trying to say. Okay, I agree, it's a fugitive, which some of us here is hard to say. Okay, it's a fugitive. We don't want to call him a fugitive, but then when we go up and down like this, the world is watching us, and then
No,
they
but
size our way.
Tonaba, with due respect to you, that already have been ruled. In fact, the Supreme Court, you see, that's why somebody asked a question here. Do you choose the law you want to obey? The same judgment they are quoting, the Supreme Court said, no, nobody can call you that you have
And
absconded
job
because
bail.
the army came to your house to kill you. Anybody in that position is expected to escape. So it is not your fault. This is a ruling. This is a ruling standing.
But the
Okay?
ruling also says
Hold
that
on.
if he has to seek redress, he can seek money. Hold on, he can seek monetary redress. This is what I'm telling you. An absconder from the law has no legal standing on how he is brought before the court to continue the trial proceedings. This is what you guys are not.
That's not a
Go
position of
check
the
the
law.
Supreme Court's ruling on his case. You cannot
That's
just
not a
come on here
position
and
of
speak
law.
from a layman's term.
I speak the truth. Okay. Now, but you see, okay, now, okay, let's see this point you're making. Now, but it doesn't stop. Remember, when you are in the courts, okay, you have the government, and then the judiciary, the judge is supposed to be, a neutral arbiter, okay?
Impartial.
The judge is not on the side of the government, and neither is the judge on the side of the
Impartial.
right. So now, even if the court, okay, being the court of justice, a neutral place, is saying, okay, look, we don't mind how you brought here. It doesn't stop if that is if that is the position of the law, which is what you're saying. It doesn't stop the accused, the defendant, from making the case, pleading the illegality, okay, of how he's brought to the court. In other words, now that is his defense, or if like it can also be a charge, an accusation against the government that is prosecuting him. Okay,
you can plead
and
anything in court.
hold on. So that defense is avails him. Okay, in this case, that he was brought illegally, and that's the point KJ also made. So the fact of the illegality is something that cannot support, the prosecution.
Oti,
Okay. So
you say were you a criminal attorney?
oh god. Sorry, excuse me. Well, look, we can't. This is not gonna.
No, I just
Let's
want
move on.
Okay,
I didn't want.
I'm not a criminal lawyer. Okay, but
Okay,
as I said,
all right. Okay. Granted, once you say that, that's cool.
You're people are looking for one thing to go and hold on to. The
No,
other day I came.
I'm asking for clarification
Leave
because
that alone. See, if I want to follow a case, I follow it to
just
the
move
letter.
on.
I don't leave it. So please, let's just move ahead. I don't think what I'm going to do on the later date is to compile every document that I've come through and we'll run it on this program. Because sometimes you guys get carried away by the emotion that it's an Igbo man that is involved. Because you are not talking about.
You don't even know where my father is from. You make this statement all the time, and it just shows some ignorance on your part.
I'm going to play a video right now. You are not talking about guys like this. It's not your business when people like this are operating the streets free of charge. It's not your business. It's not a crime. Okay? Nigeria.
Are these terrorists? Are these
Yes.
bandits?
Yes.
With this.
Yes. In Nigeria.
Alhamdulillah. Woi kita to be trying somebody.
Zulkarnain. Ya, Mat.
That is not a problem. Is it a problem? Is the army looking
This
for
is okay. So let me, KJ, it's okay. You asked me a question.
Space?
All right. So, but you asked me a question. It's okay if I speak.
Think
so,
about that. I'm not coming to you. I want to talk to Jefferson.
But
okay, Jefferson, go ahead. You've been listening to the argument.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, good evening, and is it good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, right? Okay, yeah, fantastic. It's nice to see you guys again. Yeah, I know I didn't start from the beginning, and I also missed Omoye's corner because the woman has actually been inspiring a lot of people to speak up, and I pray that you all actually look out towards that. So I want to address some critical things. Unfortunately, John Abba left, and okay, at least this guy is here. You know, I'm glad, First of all, I am very, very glad. I don't care, I'm going to express myself like a Nigerian. I'm glad, say, they use our eyes, they see, they know, say, with due respect, we fool ourselves in the international scene. I'm glad. Do you know I said that? Because things, hello, can you hear me? Oh, okay, good. Because, what do I mean by that? Okay, first, when Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting in UK, he came to Nigeria, they held him down in Nigeria. They even did shorty for him. They released him on bail. He was moving around trying to communicate with the governors. And guess what? He felt threatened. As usual, they went and attacked his house. And you all know what happened. He fled for his life. And of course, the guy didn't come back to Nigeria. And because he was being threatened, because the Nigerian government at the time was being threatened, they did everything within their power. Instead of resolving the issues of Nigeria at large, they did everything within their power to bring this man back in. And how was he brought into the country? He was kidnapped and smuggled into Nigeria under high profile, like a high profile criminal. After doing all of that, okay, to even seek justice or whatever, see the way they handle it within their own courts. If you watch very carefully, even within their courts, with their so-called Nigerian judicial system, they are breaking the laws repeatedly. Do you need a soothsayer to say this? You don't need a soothsayer to say this. This man here, with due respect, is it one brain cell will be saying that, there's a way we do the judiciary, blah, blah, blah. No, this one are all jargons. All jargons. Let us not deceive ourselves here. We deceive ourselves. What do I mean? We deceive ourselves and choose what is convenient and, sugarcoat. And right now, this guy is in jail. And all the things that this guy said is actually happening in real time. You just showed us a video now of how terrorists are moving around with guns. Are those ones not high-profile criminals? Is it not DSS that's supposed to be going after all those people? Why have they not gone after them? Because they are seen as special people. But someone is coming out to address a national need. They don't see the reason why that should be discussed. Come on. And we're talking of how they follow the court in Nigeria. In America, there's a way they follow it. Oh, please. Even in the so-called America, at least as crazy as it is, they still know how to still respect people's rights and views sometimes. It's not 100%. We still look. There's no country in the world that doesn't have skeleton in their cupboard. Don't get me wrong. It is so obvious. Even currently, even this week never even finished. We are here now. They want to attack Nnamdi Kanu because he's doing a self-defense. And they also forgot to, they are even trying not to even bring his file so that he can defend himself. Knowing full well that his lawyers were apprehended during a minor protest, and those same lawyers and people were being maltreated in Kuje prison. So when you see these kind of things, it just tells you that there is a fundamental problem. It's a fundamental problem. When we come here, we always make it look, we always talk with two sides of our mouth. Injury to one is injury to other. Insecurity, injustice. Why don't we say the truth most times? Most times we always like to lie and say what is convenient, what suits us.
Thank you so much, Jefferson.
Thank you very much. I will not sit down here and take that nonsense.
Thank you. I think we'll go. Pansa is here, so that I'll give Pansa 4 minutes to speak. Then we'll all do our last take, and then it will be called a day. Right, Pansa, please go ahead.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. KJ, you're doing a good job, and you have quite a lot of patience, obviously, except when it's me. You put up with what's his name there, brain cell. One night just, but it's okay. We're getting used to it now. Let me just ask you a question, Mr. Two Nigerians brain cell. Boom boom. You said that KJ doesn't know where your father is from. Were you trying to say your father is from the Igbo land?
No.
Okay, where's your father from?
Congo, DR.
Where?
Mainly none of your business. Let's move on.
Yeah, say
No,
DRC.
you have to tell us where you're from. You can't pick and choose. You can't.
So, I have to tell you. I'm not going to ask you where your father's from.
No, I'm an Igbo
Where
man.
are you from? Can't you say it? I'm not proud of where you're from.
No, I'm not proud. Stop talking to me, man. Pastor, talk to me. I'm listening.
Okay, so one thing, like I said, you're a brilliant person, and you're only wrong when you try to pile on and try to insult the Igbos, which you do almost every time you're on the platform. It doesn't fit you.
How, Pastor? How?
How? By taking the wrong positions. See, what you have to understand.
Well, you got to clarify that.
I will, if you let me. I will say, because this is a sincere admonition that I'm trying to give you as a young guy. You could be like my son, right? So what I'm saying is that almost on every other issue, you're on the money, except when it comes to Southeast issues. But I have to admonish you by telling you that when you see Igbos take a position, not just one person like me, maybe I come out here and I'll say something that is irritating to others, something that's wrong. I doubt it, but let's say I do that, right? One thing you have to know about the Igbos is that Igbos cannot take a position, number one, that's unfair. Igbos cannot take a position that's wrong. You could go and check. I'll bet my life on it. When the Igbos take a position, it's usually something that is very fair to everybody, right? That's something that is right. So people make a fool out of themselves when they try to go against the Igbo interest. Igbos do not want to do it to where the Igbos have an advantage over others. It never happens. Now, not only that, Igbos that were a formidable tribe, were the best in Africa, almost in everything. We're courageous. We've been to war. For 3 years, we fought Nigeria for the same reasons that every other tribe is complaining in Nigeria today. Even the protagonist of the war, the Nigerian-Biafran war, is from the Middle Belt, Benue Plateau. It's very easy for us to say, hey, we told you so. They were committing genocide on us, but you fought, the Gowon is from there. He doesn't care about his people. But we don't even say we told you so. We should. We still try to stop that from happening. So based on that, I will yield back because I do want you redeemable. I believe you're not irredeemable. I want you to change and then fight for Africa, fight for Black men. Thank you very much. KG, everybody, good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. That's the shortest I've seen Pastor speak. And I think that means he really, really felt he should say something. He usually takes more longer than that. All right, having said that, I think right now I will come to Mr. Ike to begin to make his final comment on this issue. You can make your final comment on whatever. You don't have to do it on whatever we've been discussing. Just choose whatever you want to say and do that. You have 2 minutes. Yeah, you're muted. You're muted. I can muted, yes.
OT
Go ahead,
and
Mr. Yeah.
OT and the two Niger has been quoting laws in Nigeria, and none of them has clarified to me to tell me that Nnamdi Kanu was a fugitive, knowing the genesis of Nnamdi Kanu leaving Nigeria after he was granted bail, and it was guaranteed by Senator Enyinia Baribe before the military stormed his home and killed how many people? 28 people, is that? Can you remember the number of people that was killed? How many people?
28 young men plus his dog.
Killed in his father's house. And
Yeah.
he was able to
2 months later, his father died, and then a month later, his mother died.
So those who are to be lawyers should be able to. That's why I'm asking this question. Why? Because I've been hearing fugitive, and that's why I'm asking. Why is Nnamdi Kanu a fugitive? If it is what they're trying to make me to understand. But at the same time, I want to close like this by saying the word of God is true for those who believe in God. You cannot plant banana and during the harvest, you are hoping to harvest mango. It is what you sow, is what you reap. The truth can be covered up for some time, but not for a very long time. And everything we do as human beings, there are consequences to everything we do as human beings. So my prayer for Nigeria is that Nnamdi Kanu come out of that place alive. That has always been my prayer for Nigeria. And I pray that the government of Nigeria do the right thing and let this young man go and have his life. If they decide otherwise, who am I? But ndị Igbo si na agbacha ọsọ eme gịnị? Agụọ mile. That is what it's supposed to be. Finally, my brother Oti. I don't know where you stand in Anambra State election, but what your governor after 4 years, what he did this week with the fake hospital and fake treatment in the hospital. I don't know how many people you have called home to tell them this man should not come back to the government in Oka. Because Professor Soludo could not have any evidence of what he has done in Anambra State. Rather, by going to the hospital that was under lock and key, he brought people, set them up into the hospital, give them money. And they were showing us yesterday, hey, I was thank God to solution. I was operated. If not, I would have died. Show us where the operation was happened. I've never seen anybody where they did the operation today and they asked you to go home. When they showed the pharmacy, there was no, it was just a wardrobe, no single medic, not even paracetamol, not even one packet of paracetamol is in the pharmacy. So you see, it is laughable and it is shocking that Anambarians are watching this. You know, in a developed, like if it is supposed to be in America, in other advanced country, This man, this singular act of this week, by also promising local government chairman 10 million, those who deliver vote. What is he doing? Is he not vote buying? What does the Electoral Act say? A governor of a state that is participating in an election is promising local government chairman to deliver 10. Everybody who deliver will get 10 million. Those who they gave half will get 5. The other people will get 3. Which kind of a country are we living in? And people are clapping. And people are calling solution. People are saying solution.
Right.
Mr.
Okay.
Solution.
Okay.
So
Thank
you, what I told Rudolph yesterday is what I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah.
You people that are living in diaspora, the Namberians that are living in diaspora, it's a shame that you people can watch this man, what he did this week, and he's still doing it. He went back to the same hospital today, and they bought people again to come and lie down with a newborn baby to tell us that the baby was born in the hospital.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Let me respond to him. I use my turn to respond to him.
I wish you all of you.
Okay, use your turn to respond. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So Ike.
Yeah. Hold on. I speak the truth. Let him respond, and then you can use his turn. Then after that, you can talk. Go ahead.
Ike. Well, it's yes, it's unbelievable, right? But even much more surprising is the fact that all that isn't necessary, because he's gonna win the election anyway. Okay, because he doesn't have a competition. So that is taking all these desperate measures. What's the point? Who's gonna stop him from winning? There's no position in Anambra State. And by the way, he has done enough. Okay, perhaps maybe not to the level of the Abia governor or maybe Enugu, but he has done creditably well. He's given it, some good account of himself. So the people will vote him. He's gonna come back. So why he has to do all these things? It shows you what he has demonstrated is that the guy lacks character, and that's where P2B really beats all of them down. Because you can't imagine P2B imagining such antics. But Soludo has shown that it's just like every other Nigerian politician. Okay, no honor, no integrity. So yeah, that is a shame. But trying or hoping that there's something that can be done to stop him from having a second term, is a waste of time. He's coming. He has the Anambra got to vote him back. He has done well enough, to merit a second term. It does, because Nigerians really don't care so much about this, and don't be surprised. Maybe even the voters in Anambra State, may not have actually seen what you've seen, because we are here. We have access to the internet and 24 hours electricity. But an average Anambra voter, lacks that privilege. So they may not have seen, what you've seen that is shocking to you. So no, nobody is pointless trying to stop him now. The election is already in the bag for him. Okay, and I don't mind. Let him have his 4 years, and then we'll see where we move on from there.
Thank you so much. So you are saying in a nutshell,
yes,
that Uche Kwenife and Mogalu are no contestant.
November 8th will tell us.
No, they don't have
Don't worry, November 8th will show us.
All right, no problem. I speak the truth. Sorry. Yes.
Because we can we see we know what's going on the ground. The mood, all the local governments. I'm from Urumba South. I mean, we could, my community. I mean, we see what is going on. So
all right,
it's gonna come back.
I speak the truth. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, this has been very interesting. But KJ, I got to give it to you though. You'll be playing some really dangerous and unfair games. And in as much as I respect you, in as much as I respect you, and I actually are kind of fond of you.
I refuse that. I refuse that.
All right, and in as much as I respect you, and I actually am kind of fond of you. You do this thing where I think it is very deceptive, and I think you do it because you wrap your emotions, just like a lot of Nigerian men, anyways. They wrap their emotions in a garment of they just get too emotional when it gets to topics, and they hate to see your reason. And no matter what you say, you're put in a position where the other person is just determined not to understand you. I think maybe you want to go back and look over this video starting from yesterday, because what I'm complaining about right now is what you just did. You played a Boko Haram video insinuating like I was a supporter or I did not criticize or condemn their actions, which I've done here over and over, as recently as yesterday in a conversation yourself, myself, and Audie had, which I was placed in the seat of a defendant where you guys questioned. Well, Audie did most of the questioning. He said, okay, if you were president of Nigeria, what would you have done in this scenario? But what do you now do? Even though I keep condemning it, just because you don't like my position, you decided, oh, I know he's Muslim, so I'm going to come on here and wickedly pretend like he's a Boko Haram supporter or does not condemn their activities. That should be beneath you. That shouldn't be something you, as an adult, should do. As a moderator, it is bad enough that you will not let me speak, or you only let the people that you want to speak. But then to go around and try to, and you do this constantly. You try to label and tarnish people's images. This is something I would expect from your other moderator, which I will not mention, but not from you. And I think it is something you got to start refraining from. Adverse opinions might make you uncomfortable. Divergent opinions might make you uncomfortable, but it is imperative that you listen to people. You can disagree with people and you can hear them out. You can agree to disagree, or you can totally just disagree with them. But to start trying to paint them with a malicious brush is not fair at all. And that's what I have to say. You have to check that. That's not, you constantly do that, and that's not cool.
Okay, thank you so much for your submission. However, I think you are mischaracterizing what I did. I only played that. You're not a Nigerian government. I only played that to let you know there are more serious issues on ground in Nigeria other than Nnamdi Kanu, which, if any government is serious to tackle insecurity, you will not have majority of your armed forces in the east and pursuing people you tag IPOB boys.
Yes, you kept saying
you see now I allowed you to speak.
Yeah, but you can't. You let the person speak, then you start making mistruths, and that is hard to just keep quiet.
What is mistruth now that happened so far?
What were you saying? You're now characterizing it, and I would like to move on, not to sound petty, but you now characterizing it as if you were criticizing the Nigerian government, which wasn't what you did. The video is still there. What would you say about this? Would you support this? What was your opinion on this? You already know my opinion. Why would you now try to frame me like a supporter of such a malicious group?
And you just said that, and I said to you, you are misunderstanding my purpose of playing the video. It is me that I'm speaking with my own mouth. And but yet you believe what you want to believe. I don't understand it. Now, but okay, let me leave it at that. That's your opinion. Thank you. Let us move on. Jefferson, what is your own conclusion?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Oh, okay, good. You know, unfortunately, I didn't start from the beginning, but I wish I did. But it was a packed presentation. At the end of the day, why we are having all these conversations is to chart a path forward, to make our voices heard. Whether we like it or not, Nigerians, it will shock you that there are some Nigerians behind the scene that are trying to push for electoral reforms on the ground, also trying to push for other things, even in the whole chaotic system. I mean, we are being hopeful and praying, and of course, also holding on to the electoral circle, that if we enter the next one or maybe the next two, we'll get a more saner presidency that has a direction that can able to chart the country forward. Because basically, we will not lie to you, people are tired. We're tired of all this mess that's going on. You know, I also, my own major submission is this: we should not see. I don't have to say this, but what is back home in our, they say it that they say what is wrong, what is right is right. Let me just put it that way. You cannot, you understand? So when you see injustice, they say injustice to one is injustice to others. If someone from Southeast seeing carnage happening in the North should be concerned about what is going on, and someone in the North will also be concerned, and by the grace of God, we're actually getting there now. People are actually waking up gradually. Also reviewing what the kind of mindsets they are having in terms of belief systems or whatever, you know, because most times it comes to a point in a man's life where as you advance in your, as you are advancing, you need to do some review about what you hold on there to. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, it's blood that is flowing in our veins. There's blood that's flowing in our veins. It's only a sin, it's only someone that is in sin that will see all this madness. Of course, in our courts, the insecurity, no infrastructure, and we always do as if it doesn't concern them and speak on two sides of their mouth. Or we see things that is wrong, evil committed, people killing each other, and they will look the other way. Let me say this and wrap up real quick. For instance, in my own perception, nobody likes what is happening in the Middle East. But again, if you check again, you still find that one or two is not adding up. Because unfortunately, among the two sides of the divide, I mean, the people are unstable. They are mentally unstable. You know, religion, where you are from, racism, these are big issues. Very big issues. So
thank you.
I just want to conclude to say that we need to have a mental check to make sure that whatever we are standing for is for the correct cause. And whatever is wrong is wrong. No matter how they want to twist it, Nigerian government has, the judiciary and the security apparatus has failed Nigerians, both here and abroad, and they need to up to responsibilities. I rest my case.
Thank you so much. And thank you. That does it. I'm going to do my closing remark when everybody is gone. But I want to thank you especially, to Niger One Brain Cell. You actually brought, a lot of, the other side into the argument, which makes it enriches it. We all can't have the same way of thinking. So thank you for being here, for your time and your treasure. Thank you, Mr. Ike. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here all the time. Even though sometimes we don't give you so much time to talk, but you still come and you're still here. Thank you. We appreciate you. Mr. Oti, thank you. And at least those who want to learn will have learned on the part of the law, which is very important. And thank you for that rich, rich contribution. Also, Jefferson, thank you for also being able to speak, straight to the point and exactly how things should be done. I hear that the woman who is represent justice has her eye folded. and a scale on this hand and a sword on this other hand. That means she doesn't see, neither does she, so she only weighs justice on which part it falls. And I hear also that justice rule of law doesn't have any kororom, it doesn't have any bend. Onwe bending, onwe kororom. So it is straight, the way it's applied to A is the way it will be applied to B. So that means that there's nothing like, this is how it's done for this and this how. It doesn't have two different justice systems. So those who are perpetuating this evil will obviously reap the fruit. Because the truth of the matter and life that I see is this. If you continue to support injustice, in the near future, injustice will definitely not be far from the person. So I pray that those who see these things and read meanings to it, because we are talking about a man called Nnamdi Kanu, who on the time the people who took him to court, who have been detained him for 10 years, were asked, give us evidence of what he has been able to do with the equipment that you say he brought. You said, he has, when you found him, you found a laptop, a cell phone, and a transmitter radio. That's all you were able to find. That means that, in essence, charging him for terrorism, do you do terrorism without any equipment, with nothing? And then the terrorists are in your country. They are running helter-skelter everywhere and harassing the citizens. And people are not seeing those people. Okay, the ones that are shooting down your airplanes, they are not seeing them. The ones hijacking your people on the way to their farms, ransacking their villages and taking over those places, they are not terrorists. They are good citizens. So if that is what you want, it is okay. But it's not going to be okay for the international community. So we can lie to ourselves as much as we want. We can deceive ourselves as much as we want. But the whole world is not going to come to what we are lying to ourselves. And that's why it's so stupid for the government to send Daniel Bwala. Instead of solving the immediate and remote cause of the issue that the world is saying is happening to you, you are sending people all around the world to go and tell them that it's not happening. Are you okay? These people have satellites everywhere. They see everywhere. They see everything. And you are still saying that this thing didn't happen. Why don't we just solve our problem instead of taking it and passing it on to someone else? We appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much. And we also appreciate, we have a new person who came in, is at Onoche model 7858. We thank you for being here. We pray that you'll be here also next week. I thank you, Mark Eneli, Boom Boom Ray, Ogun Yele, Ogun Wale. I don't know how to pronounce that. And every one of you have been on the keyboard. I see many of you. You guys, this program wouldn't have been anything good if you are not here. Those of you who support us, thank you. Those of you who criticize us, thank you also. The criticism helps us to sit up. So it's not a war. We're not here to war. We're just here to rub minds and be able to help ourselves. Maybe suggest something that will be better for our nation. That's what we are doing. Thank you, all of you, on behalf of everyone who has been part of the program. Please before you sign out, like the program and share it so that others also can get it. So that at the end of the day, the numbers are increasing and we be better for it. God bless all of you. And on this faithful note, we say, let our Senate President lead us out.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,000,000 1,844,000,000,000 1,000,000,000,000. This money is too much for me. 1 trillion.